Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to historic EVSC Bossy Field here for Game 3 of a three-game series between the Florence Yalls and the Evansville Otters. The Otters are off to a great start, starting 2-0 on the year, and they have played both games in some very, very tense situations. The no-hitter in Game 1 and the walk-off yesterday. Amani Jones, the walk-off single, ended up scoring Shane Philman. It was almost a bit chaotic here for the Otters. They were up 5-0, ended up blowing that lead, getting down 6-5, but they came back and ended up winning here inside the broadcast booth. Hi, everybody. I'm Evan Patoka. Excuse the mess. You know, we're still trying to get everything figured out here, but today is a new day, and the Otters are looking to win their third straight game and start 3-0 for the first time since 2008. And we're starting a little bit early here because we have a special presentation coming up in a couple minutes. But before that, let's take a look at our starting lineups. Starting with the visiting Florence Yalls. It is Brendan Bobo leading things off in right field. Tyler Schoenefeld in center field batting second. Hank Zeisler at first base bats third. Zade Richardson batting fourth, the designated hitter. Then Brett Blomquist bats fifth. At third base, Keenan Taylor, the second baseman, bats sixth. Zach Beadle, the catcher, bats seventh. Dylan Baker, the shortstop, batting eighth. And then Jackson Tucker in the 9-hole out in left field. On the other side for the Otters, it's John Ponder in center field leading off. Amani Jones at second base bats second. Dennis Pierce, the DH today, bats third. Logan Brown at first instead of Pierce. He's in the cleanup spot, so the top four in the Otters lineup stays the same for all three games of the series. Mark Black, the catcher, this time bats fifth. J.J. Cruz getting his first bit of playing time this season at third. He bats sixth. TJ Salvaggio at shortstop bats seventh. Then Jordan Vyers bats eighth in right field. And the first bit of action in an Otters uniform for Adonis Forte. He's in left field batting ninth. Just about to get ready here for our special presentation. And we think everybody here will enjoy it. Otters are at 2-0, starting 2-0 for the first time since 2019. And it is superhero night here at Bossy Field. And everyone getting into the superhero spirit. We got some people dressed up, some people in capes, some people ready to go. We unfortunately couldn't get Batman to come out and throw first pitch or maybe sing the national anthem. He was a little busy, but we definitely gave it our best shot, so you can't fault us for trying. The Yalls are pitching Zach Westcott today. First righty that the Yalls will be throwing today, in this series. Two lefties started off the season in Evan Webster on opening day and then Isaac Milburn yesterday. Now their pitching coach, Zach Westcott, is going to get the start. Yes, he is a player coach. And yes, he is the Zach Westcott that if you watch the Frontier League a lot, you know him quite well because he holds a lot, and I mean a lot, of Frontier League records. But before we delve into everything going on here at EVSC Bossy Field, our special presentation will start right now as we take you to the PA man, Mr. Zane Claude-Felter, for the announcement of Dakota Phillips' jersey retirement.
Tonight, we recognize the career and legacy of Otters catcher and infielder Dakota Phillips. On May 12th, 2019, Dakota made his Otters debut, going 2 for 3 with a double. He picked up multi-hit games in 5 of his first 9 games in an Evansville jersey. Across 307 games played for Evansville, Dakota collected a .266 batting average with 303 hits, 78 doubles, 2 triples, and
Well, there you have it. Retired number 3 is in the books, and it is Dakota Phillips's number 7 that will be in the rafters here at EVSC's historic Bosse Field for, well, the rest of time. We will not see anybody else wear number 7. That number is for Dakota Phillips's to keep. It was a special ceremony that all of the front office kind of kept a secret with all the coaching staff. No one told him. It was a complete surprise to him as well as everybody else on the team. Just had Griff Hughes come up here in the press box and be like, I didn't know we were retiring his number. It was like, yeah, that was the point. We weren't supposed to tell anybody. Shout out to Griff. And shout out to Dakota Phillips, forever enshrined here in Evansville. Him and his number 7. Let's just revisit all the stats he's put up here as a member of the Otters. Mentioned it earlier. The all-time leader in RBIs, 227. 54 home runs also leads the team. Third in games played at 308. That comes after the 2 that he played earlier on in the series. 5th overall in runs scored. 3rd in hits, 296. Tied 2nd with Josh Allen, who owner Bill Bussing mentioned as one of the legends here in Otters history, and I'm sure Allen's number will be next. Tied him with doubles, 77 of them, 5th in walks at 121. And overall, 6 seasons here with the Otters. And the reason that he wasn't put in the lineup today is because everybody knew that this was going to happen in the coaching staff. A legendary guy, Dakota Phillips, and he will be enshrined as the 3rd player ever to get their number retired by the Evansville Otters, alongside John Schultz's number 4. 6 seasons also with Evansville. Has multiple team records as well with Dakota Phillips. And the number 44 retired by Greg Jelks, the late manager of the Otters, who led the Otters to that 2006 championship. A very nice ceremony here on this Saturday night. A little bit of a somber moment. You know, we saw some tears out on the field, and you know, can't say you're too surprised. Dakota didn't know this was happening, and I'm sure it was insanely overwhelming for him, but also in the best possible way, as Phillips, with that number retirement, also will be announcing his retirement. He's in the dugout right now talking with Jordan Vyers. Vyers is the youngest guy on the team. He's only 22 years old, and he could be possibly getting some pointers from the Otters legend before he heads on to bigger and better things after getting his number retired here today. Just overall a great thing to see. You see a jersey retired, you see a number enshrined, and Phillips wearing the number 7. No other human will be wearing that number 7 with either the Eville, the Evansville, or the Otters on the front. And it is enshrined as well as 4 and 44, and definitely put his number out there where the other 2 numbers are.
To make a purchase. And here are those top 100 selling
So we move from the jersey retirement. Nice happy moment. It has really been all smiles for the Otters so far through 2 games, and then this pregame as you see the guys just chilling in the dugouts. Cohen Wilbanks there along with Logan Brown. Logan Brown, another really big fan favorite here in Evansville from the area, from Mount Vernon, talking with Dakota as well as Jordan Vyers.
Give our scouts a big round of applause.
Well, we're continuing pregame ceremonies here. It's also Boy Scout night here at the ballpark, as well as the superhero night we mentioned earlier. As we break into the actual game, after this series, 2 days off, a rare Sunday off for Evansville before they head to Florence next weekend to play the Yalls. But before that, a little midweek series against the Washington Wild Things, in which we play on Tuesday. That's the next time we play after this game. And then on Wednesday, the 13th, it's a doubleheader, a 7-inning doubleheader that was scheduled. Usually, you know, doubleheaders, they get scheduled because of rain. You get postponed, and then you got to play a 7-inning doubleheader. But this one has been planned from the start. As we take a look at our umpires, the home plate umpire, Mateus Puscalo. Over at first base is Matt Van Houten, and then at third base, it is Lucas Naley. We've seen now all three of these guys switch around here in this 3-game series, as Andy McCauley and Toby Hall part of the plate meeting right there. The Otters wearing the what we like to call City Connects, but mostly just the Eville jerseys for the 3rd straight day. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what they say, and they're trying to keep everything intact to try and win this 3rd straight game. And if that includes wearing the same jersey 3 straight days, then so be it. This is a superstitious bunch, and they're going to do anything they can to try and sweep the Yalls out of Evansville. Well, we still have some player intros left to do. Let's talk a little bit about how last game went. It was a doozy of a game. The Otters scored 4 in the second, ended up taking a 4-0 lead, and then they expanded that lead to 5 in the 4th. Jordan Vyers hit a double, and it ended up scoring Mark Black, gave them a 5-0 lead. And then Florence, after getting held scoreless for 13 straight games, or 13 straight innings, decided they wanted to score 3 in the 5th and 3 in the 6th. They took a 6-5 lead. Evansville responded in the bottom half of the 6th. Dennis Pierce hit an infield single that ended up scoring John Ponder from 3rd. Speaking of John Ponder, he's just getting announced now, and they're doing some cool little intros with the Boy Scouts. It's very nice. All the players are getting a chance to high-five all the guys out on the field. Jones getting announced. He was the winner after scoreless 3 innings from both sides in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. We headed to extras, in which Alex Valdez did a fantastic job of pitching around the Commissioner's runner at second base. A scoreless 10th, and after a infield single by Salvaggio, a intentional walk to John Ponder, the bases were loaded with nobody out. And Amani Jones hit a blooper into right center field, ended up winning the game for the Otters, and they start 2-0, and they are the only 2-0 team in the Frontier League. Now, take that with a grain of salt, as we are one of 8 teams to play 2 games, but still the only one of those 8 to win both of them. So there is that. There's Mark Black with the umpires. We're just about to get set here for the national anthem. So we will take you to our PA announcer, as well as our MC Josh on the field, still announcing those lineups. Adonis Forte getting his first bit of professional playing time, wearing the number 45. We'll talk a little bit more about him later. But now it is time for our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please turn your attention to the left field gate, where tonight's colors are being presented by Scouts BSA Troop Council. We ask that after the anthem, you remain standing until the flag has left the playing surface. And would you please remain standing as we honor America's freedom, those who now protect it, and pay tribute to those who have made the ultimate sacrifice with the singing of our national anthem, sung tonight by Rube Martin. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, it is game time here on this beautiful Saturday night in Evansville. It did rain overnight last night, but of course when the game starts, it is always going to be bright and sunny here in southwestern Indiana, here in the Mesker Park Zoo first inning. Visit the Mesker Park Zoo at 1545 Mesker Park Drive in Evansville. As we take a look at the top three in the order for the Yalls: Brendan Bobo, Tyler Shaneyfelt, Hank Zeisler, all lefties facing off against the righty in Ben Petschke, who is the starter for the Otters here in game 3. The shadows could play a role here, as there are a little bit of shadows. Looks like Petschke is kind of looking into the sun, but the lower half of his body is just all the way in the shade. See how that affects him and the batters here. But usually the sun's setting pretty fast, at least in the past couple nights. By the third inning, it has been pretty good for the infield, and then halfway through, the outfield gets that little bit of shade.
It's time for the Mesker Park Zoo with Botanical Gardens first inning.
Take a look at our pitcher-catcher battery, though. We talked about Petschke, but it is also Mark Black behind the dish as we take a look at the defense for the Otters. Adonis Forte in left, John Ponder in center with Jordan Vyers in right field. J.J. Cruz at third, T.J. Salvaggio at short. Amani Jones at second. Logan Brown moves from catcher to first base, and Mark Black puts on the gear and is catching the balls and strikes thrown by Petschke. So the Answer Auto Repair East pitcher-catcher battery is Petschke and Mark Black. Find all your battery needs at the Answer Audio Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or give them a call at 812-475-9000. Otters trying to start the season 3-0 and a sweep of the Yalls in their first series of the season. Reminder, these two teams face off next week, but it's at Thomas More Stadium, so we'll be on the road. This is the first road trip of the season. Brendan Bobo in the leadoff spot for the first time in this series. It has been Tyler Shaneyfelt the other 2 days. Brendan Bobo has been struggling a bit here to start the season. Has yet to get a base hit, has struck out 5 times. And the first pitch is called a ball at 6:35. Central Standard Time. Don't you forget it. 1-0 is high for ball 2. Let's talk a little bit about Ben Petschke. He has had some pretty bad injury luck. He's had Tommy John twice. He missed the entire 2025 season with injury while he was with the Fayetteville Woodpeckers in Single A with the Astros organization. Signed with Evansville on March 18th in his first season with the Otters. 2-1. Popped up into shallow center. Jones will call off Salvaggio over on the grass behind second base, and that is out number 1. Looked like a little bit of a miscommunication between Salvaggio and Jones, but Jones ended up making the catch for the first out. So Bobo still without a hit this season. That'll bring up Tyler Schoenfeld, the usual leadoff man, because of his very good speed. First pitch hits the zone for strike 1. Petschke, the Pittsburgh native, 24 years old. Going to get back on track here after unfortunately getting Tommy John for the second time, as that one's inside for ball 1. 35 1/3 innings with Fayetteville in 2024. That was his age 22 season. 1-1. That one's fouled back. And it is 1-2 to Schoenfeld. Schoenfeld 2 for 6. Had 6 at-bats in the leadoff spot as that game went 10 innings. Hit a double. Drove in 2 runs, but also struck out twice. 1-2. Called strike 3. Freezes Schoenfeld, and the first strikeout of the day for Petschke is out number 2 in the top of the first. It's a good test for Petschke. The first 3 batters he faces all being lefties, and he has done pretty well for the first 2. Now it's Zeisler, the third lefty. The only lefties in the lineup are in the top 3 spots for Florence. Fouled back by Zeisler on the first pitch, and it's 0-1. Petschke was at Samford his collegiate career, at least his senior season. Was with Dayton in 2021, then Florida Southwestern State in 2022. There's a blooper into left center field, and that'll drop in for a base hit. So the first hit of the day for the Yalls is a Hank Zeisler opposite field bloop, and it's 1 on with 2 outs for all the righties in the lineup now, starting with Zade Richardson. Zade 1 for 4 yesterday, overall 1 for 7 in this series. Runner on first, 2 outs. First pitch from Petschke. Good breaking ball hits the bottom of the zone for strike 1. Zeisler 20 of 24 last season in stolen bases with the Yalls. All Frontier League selection. That one just misses low, and it's 1-1. Well, the all sitting at 0-2 and a couple of momentum-killing losses. First getting no hit and then getting walked off. Got to see how these guys will respond to that. Another good breaking ball hits the inside edge, and it's 1-2. Oh, Petschke can really locate that breaking ball well. Could be in for another solid start. Landon Williman got the start yesterday. 4 2/3, gave up 3 runs. None of them earned, though, after the error over at third by Marcos Gonzalez. Gonzalez is on the bench for today's game. That one's outside, and it's 2-2. Not too big of a lead off of first for Zeisler. Scoots over there a little bit. Covered over there by Logan Brown. Dancing off first now. 2-2 is fouled away. And that overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. Richardson in the first game of the series, 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts, and that seemed like the stat line for everybody, considering the amount of hits they put up. Another 2-2. Another one fouled pretty much to the same spot off to the right side. Good long at bat here for Zaid. It is Brett Blomquist on deck. Has come off the bench for both games in this series, finally getting his first start of the year. And another 2-2. That one is inside. Count runs full, 3-2. And now with 2 outs, Zeisler can run off of first. Zeisler goes. Here's the payoff, and it's fouled away again.
An overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it.
Well, Richardson last year, 22 walks, 57 strikeouts. So definitely took strike 3 more than he took ball 4 last season, but 1 walk, 3 strikeouts in the short sample size here in 2026. Another payoff from Petschke. Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did. Gets the sword, 2 strikeouts in the first inning for Petschke, and he leaves the man on first. A scoreless top of the first for Ben as we head to the bottom of the first after the German-American Bank strikeout.
We have Serenity, we have Parker on the field. They're going to spin around this way, guys. There you go. They're going to spin around that bat 10 times. They're going to run down there, going to tag her hand. Whoever does so first wins these pair of tickets in my hand. You guys ready? Set, spin. Serenity's a pro spinner. Serenity is your winner. There we go. No quitters. Let's hear it for both of them, everybody. All right, DBAT is Evansville's premier locally owned indoor baseball and softball training facility. Experience top-notch batting cages, automated pitching machines for baseball, fast pitch and slow pitch softball, personalized lessons, exciting games and clinics, unforgettable birthday parties, and a pro shop filled with everything you need. Powered by Rollins. They're located on O'Hara Drive near the airport. Visit DBAT 7 days a week for all your baseball and softball needs. Fisher catcher battery.
Bottom of the first here
For the visiting Florence Y'all.
in game 3 of the series. We got Zach Westcott on the mound for the Y'alls. Zach Westcott, 34 years old, 34 years young, might I say. He is in his 10th Frontier League season. And he has a lot of Frontier League records, but talk about that later. Let's talk about the fact that he is also the pitching coach of the Florence Y'alls. We have a pitcher coach sort of situation here for Florence. There's another one out in Lake Erie with well-known Otter Brandon Sittinger. That's going to be a little bit awkward when he shows up and sees that we see that the guy on the other team who's pitching and is the coach has a banner out here at EVSC's Posse Field. But either way, Zach Westcott, yes, is a pitcher and the coach of the pitchers. He'll face off against the Edward Jones leadoff batter in John Ponder. Ponder has done a lot of good things in his first couple of professional games. 3rd straight game in the leadoff spot. Stole 2 bags yesterday. Has gone 1 for 4 in both games, but has mostly been playing some good defense out in left and center field. First pitch from Westcott is inside for ball 1. So Westcott has a very extensive professional career that includes a lot of stops. None of them with the Otters, though. Seems as though he might have a vendetta against Evansville. There's a fly ball into right field. There is Brendan Bobo, who fights the sun and makes the catch for out number 1. And that'll bring up the hero of yesterday's game, Amani Jones. Jones hit the walk-off single that scored Shane Philman and gave the Otters their second win. Another good start to the season here for Amani. 3 for 9, went 2 for 6 yesterday with a double. And that walk-off single takes a strike. Curveball at 69 miles per hour, so Westcott definitely doesn't throw the fastest, but does have some good movement on the breaking pitches. That's why he's been able to have so much longevity here in the Frontier League. That one's outside, and it's 1-1. So Westcott started in college. His collegiate career was with Nova Southeastern from 2011 to 2015. So he started his college career 15 years ago. Pretty wild. Pretty wild. He's kind of matching Tommy Shirley in terms of the veterans here in the Frontier League. 1-2 in the dirt. And the count evens up at 2 apiece. So Westcott started his professional career with the St. Paul Saints. That was the St. Paul Saints that were not in the AAA organization of the Twins yet. Westcott hasn't played in minor league baseball at all in his career. Grounder over to short. There is Baker. He'll toss it over to first, and that's out number 2. 2016 also with Windy City, where he did end up pitching to a 1.36 ERA and 39 2/3. Didn't face off against Evansville, but that was the Evansville championship team in 2016, their last championship season. As Dennis Pierce steps to the dish. Pierce having himself a good start to the year. First pitch from Westcott. Right down the middle for strike 1. Pierce 4 for 7 so far through 2 games. Homered in game 1 of the series. Drove in a run yesterday as well. Went 2 for 4. 0-1. Breaking ball. Chopper over to third. A little bit of a bobble by Blomquist, but he's able to make the throw over to first. And it's a 1-2-3 first inning for Westcott. And we will head to the top of the second inning here on the Otters Media Network. No score.
Let's see if they can wrangle them on the force too late. Whichever zookeeper wrangles the most animals is going home with some general mission tickets to the zoo. We have Alex as the mantis, Peyton as a zebra, and Hayden as a kitty cat. Zookeeper's ready. Go! No eating the animals, mantis. All right, that's all of them. We're going to do a quick count here. Mantis wins. Let's hear for Alex.
Hey Evansville, if you love the Evansville Otters, wait until you meet the ones at Nestor Park Zoo. Splashing, playing, and way cuter than your buddy in Section G. Yeah, come see us 365 days a year from 9 till 4 p.m. at Nestor Park Zoo.
Top of the second here at EVSC's historic Bossy Field. Second inning brought to you by J.E. Shekel Armor Protection. Founded in 1978, J.E. Shekel is the Tri-State's premier residential, commercial, industrial service and construction company. Brent Blomquist leads off the top of the second after a scoreless first inning for both sides. First pitch inside from Petschke, and it's 1-0. So Blomquist came in as a pinch hitter in both games, ended up just walking in game 1 of the series. Went 1 for 2, though. Got his first professional hit yesterday against the Otters. Second pitch misses outside, and it's 2-0. The 2-0 hits the zone for strike one. Blomquist spent his collegiate seasons Western Kentucky for 2, North Greenville for 2. So knows the area a little bit well. Western Kentucky, closer to Evansville than it is to Florence, that's for sure. 2-2 now after Blomquist takes 2 straight strikes. Last season when North Greenville hit almost 400 at 398. 2-2. Just inside, and it's a full count. Very close, but called a ball in. Three-two, called strike 3. And Blomquist doesn't agree, but that is strikeout number 3 for Petschke, and that's out number 1 in the top of the second inning. German-American bank strikeout. Petschke's full of them so far today, and that'll bring up the former Otter Keenan Taylor. Taylor didn't play yesterday, ended up going 0 for 2 in game 1, got hit by a pitch. Big part of the Otters team last season, one of their 2 Frontier League All-Star selections. Hit 286 against Florence. Rope over to short, great snag by Salvaggio. Throw on to first is in time for out number 2. That was 105 off the bat, and Salvaggio had no problem getting to it, throwing it over to first. And the first 2 retired here in the top of the second. Zach Beadle. Second game of the season. Didn't play in the no-hitter. Did go for 2 with a strikeout yesterday before being pinch hit for by Sergio Gutierrez. It seems as though Beadle and Gutierrez will share most of the catching duties. Zade Richardson, also a catcher on the roster, but has mostly been doing the DHing. 0-1 is fouled way off to the right side. Overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. Both Zade and Sergio Gutierrez, the only 2 position players to have played minor league baseball, as that grounder eats up Amani Jones and heads into shallow center. They're going to call that a base hit, most likely.
Shortstop, 6, Dylan Baker.
That's 86 off the bat. Not as fast as the grounder to Salvaggio, but either way, Beadle reaches, and there's a man on first with 2 outs yet again here in the second inning. First pitch is inside to Dylan Baker. Baker 1 for 5 in his 2 games. Coming into this one, they did end up calling that a base hit for Beadle, so he's 1 for 1 on the day. Back-to-back 2-out singles in the first and the second inning for the Yalls. Last inning, it was Zeisler who hit a blooper to left field. Didn't end up advancing from first. And now Baker in a good hitters count, quickly 3-0. The Yalls last year, decent hitting team, but their pitching was very lackluster. 14th in ERA out of 18 teams. 16th in runs allowed, 17th in both hits allowed, homers, and walks, and 16th in overall strikeouts. As Dylan Baker walks on 4 pitches, that will advance Beadle to second. And it's the first walk allowed by Petschke today. Mark Black will call out some signs before Tucker hits for the first time today. In the 9 spot, top of the lineup on deck in Bobo. This is a team that hit a lot of homers last year in the Florence Yalls and didn't strike out all that much. And it seems as though that is the exact opposite to start off the series. They don't have a single home run, and they have struck out quite a bit. 13 on Thursday, 11 yesterday, and already 3 today through an inning and a half. Sorry, an inning and 2/3. 6 straight balls for Petschke as he falls behind Tucker 2-0. Tucker 0 for 2, 2 walks yesterday. The 2-0 pitch. There's a strike. Fastball at 90, and it's 2-1. Tucker did not play in the first game of the series. Well, if you missed our pregame, you missed out on a jersey retirement of Dakota Phillips. That happened about 10, 15 minutes before the game started. It was a very nice celebration of Phillips's career and overall impact in the Evansville and Otters community. Played 6 seasons here. Played 2 games in this series, but most likely will not play here in the 3rd and will retire after this series, which is why he's getting the number retired. 2-2 is high, and the count runs full. Makes it 3-2 with 2 outs, which means Beadle and Baker will both be running here. Here is the payoff with 2 outs. That is into left field, a base hit. Rounding third is Beadle, and he will come in to score. Throw goes to third. And it's an RBI single for Jackson Tucker, his first professional hit and RBI as the Yalls take a 1-0 lead.
In right field, 3, Brendan Bobo.
So for the first time this series, the Florence Yalls have scored first. They've taken a 1-0 lead in the 2nd inning. Now it is runners at the corners with 2 outs for the top of the order in Bobo. Runner goes on the first pitch. It's a check swing foul, as Tucker will have to make the long walk back to first, or slight jog back to first, as is what he's doing right now. Tucker 40 for 46 in stolen bases last season with St. John's. You also have some speedsters. 8th in stolen bases last season with 131. So a little bit middle of the pack. The Otters weren't necessarily good at stolen bases last season either, as they ranked 14th with 103. After For the throw back to first, the 0-1. Runner goes. Throw on to second is close, but not in time. Oh, very close call. It is now 0-2, though, so Petschke a strike away from getting out of it with just the 1 run, but runners at second and third now. Baker at third, Tucker at second after the stolen base. Bobo a chance to extend the Y'alls lead here in the top of the second. The 0-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. 4th strikeout of the day for Petschke. He does give up the 1 run, though, as we head to the bottom of the second inning. The Y'alls with a 1-0 lead here on the Otters Media Network.
So we say congratulations to sections E and F. Going home with the Hoosier Lottery cash prize coupon. Winners must be 18 or older. Play ball with the Hoosier Lottery. Remember, please play responsibly. It's time to see who gets to upgrade to the Ashley Furniture Home Store Best Seats in the House. Our lucky winner gets to spend the rest of the game in the best seats in the house. So I will say, congratulations, Jeff Campbell. Jeff Campbell is our lucky winner of the Ashley Furniture Home Store Best Seats in the House. Come on down and enjoy the view for the rest of the game with your feet kicked up. The best seats in the house also means you have the best view of the Heritage Video Board and Honor Vision. Follow along with all of our video board action. Be sure to visit heritagefederal.org.
Bottom of the second inning as Florence has taken a 1-0 lead. It is the first time that Florence has scored first in this series. The Otters scored 1 in the first in game 1 and scored 4 in the second in game 2. And we're in the second here in game 3, so maybe the second inning is going to be their inning this season. Well, it all will start with Logan Brown, then Mark Black and J.J. Cruz, the top 3 and the 4, 5, 6 guys in the order to lead off the bottom of the second inning against Westcott. Logan Brown 0 for 5 yesterday. Very slow curveball. That one was at 67 and misses high for ball 1. Fastball, curveball, changeup for Westcott. Just the 3-pitch mix. There's the fastball. That misses in about the same spot as the curveball did. 2-0. Chopper over to short. That'll be Baker. His throw on to first is in time for out number 1. Couple grounders over to Baker here in the first 4 outs defensively for the Y'alls. That will bring up Mark Black.
Batting fifth, the catcher, number 29, Mark Black.
Well, Mark Black 1 for 3 yesterday. Walked twice, struck out twice. Overall, though, 1 for 5 in the series. First pitch from Westcott. Just misses outside, and it's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch is into center field and a base hit for Mark Black. First hit of the day for the Otters. And Mark Black has his second hit of the series. Runner on first now with 1 out for J.J. Cruz, making his season debut. J.J. Cruz now in his 3rd season with Evansville. signed for this season, re-signed for this season on January 7th. Didn't play in the first 2 games. Finally getting some action here in Game 3. The Otters finally facing a righty in this series, which is why the lefty-heavy lineup is getting put in. Logan Brown we saw already, Jones the switch hitter, and then J.J. Cruz, Jordan Vyers, and Adonis Forte. A lot of lefties in the lineup for Evansville. One-0 swung on and missed, and it's 1-1. 236 in 80 games last season for the Otters. J.J. Cruz hit 276 against Florence last year. 13 for 47. Hit a homer, drove in 8, but also struck out 11 times. Foul tip into the glove of the catcher Beetle, and it is 1-2. Last season, Cruz was 4th in homers and RBIs on the team. Had one of his best games of the season, though, against Florence. Back on June the 29th, went 4 for 5. That one misses low, and it's 2-2. 2024 with the Otters. Joined in the middle of the season after playing his collegiate season at Hope International. Hit 250 in 22 games. 2-2. There's a rope into right field. Bobo going back. He's at the wall, and it's gone! First at bat of the season. J.J. Cruz sends it over the right field wall, and the Otters take a 2-1 lead. Well, J.J. Cruz went 3 for 3 in the exhibition game on the 2nd against Florence, and in his first at-bat of the season, puts the Otters on top by 1. First pitch misses to Salvaggio. A crazy turn of events, and the Otters offense continues to just strike back when faced with adversity here in this series. An immediate answer last night after going down 1, and they went down 1 here in the 2nd. All of a sudden, they're back up 1 as the check swing was a go for Salvaggio, and it's 1-1. A little bit high, and it's 2-1. Cruz hit 11 homers last season. As mentioned, one of them was against Florence, and already has one here against Florence in 2026. Cruz trying to prove himself a point here for not getting played in the first 2 games. I feel as though maybe the point was proven. Might have to let me know, though, if that was the case or not. 3-1 against Salvaggio. Westcott kicks and deals. Fouls one back to the screen. Count goes to full at 3-2. Salvaggio had himself a night yesterday. 3 for 4. Drove in 3 with a bases clearing double. Error allowed him to score. That was that 4 spot in the 2nd inning in last game. Now 2 here in the 2nd inning today as TJ swings and misses for strike 3, and that's the first strikeout of the day for Westcott. Out number 2 here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. So the 3rd homer of the season for Evansville. Dennis Pierce, Logan Brown both have one. That was in the first game of the series, and now Cruz hits one over the lick sign out in right field. Vyers skies one into right center. No more center than right. And it's Shaney Felt to make the catch for out number 3. But an instant response for Evansville. J.J. Cruz hits a 2-run homer. scores himself and Mark Black as we head to the third. The Otters with a 2-1 lead on the Otters Media Network.
He's competing today in the Indiana Air National Guard push-up contest. All season long, fans are competing for a 2-pack of 2027 general admission tickets. Tonight, one will be, we got the third to add his name to the leaderboard as we begin a season-long quest to find out who will be the 2026 Air National Guard push-up champion. You ready? All right, all the way up, all the way down. No cheating like you got last time. You ready? Set, go!
2-1 Otts as we head to the top of the third inning. Third inning brought to you by Precision Pest and Wildlife. Every great team brings precision to the field. We bring it to your home and business. Call 812-993-3341 or visit precisionpestwildlife.com. Let's elevate the standard together. You know who was elevating the standard? J.J. Cruz. 2-1 after his home run in the bottom of the second inning. Now here in the top of the third, as Tyler Shaneyfelt, Hank Zeisler, and Zaid Richardson, the 2-3-4 guys in the Y'alls lineup, lead off the top of the third inning. Second time through the order for Petschke, now pitching with a lead for the first time today. Gave up the one run on the RBI single from Jackson Tucker. First pitch swinging, Shaneyfelt over to left field. And Adonis Forte will make the catch for out number one. So one pitch, one out after the fly out to left. And it's Zeisler.
First baseman, 13, Hank Zeisler.
Zeisler hit a single in the first. His fourth hit of the series. Now 4 for 10, hitting at a smooth 400. First pitch is low for ball one. Zeisler had a bit of an interesting game because he started off the game 0 for 2 and then hit 3 straight singles in 3 straight at-bats. One of them drove in a run. Part of that 3-run top of the fifth. Ended up scoring 3 more in the top of the sixth. Grounder over to first, bobbled, but recovered at first by Logan Brown as he tosses it to Petschke for out number 2. First 2 retired in the top of the third in quite quick succession. And that'll bring up Zaid Richardson. Zaid, the second of 4 strikeouts for Petschke in his first at-bat. First pitch misses a little outside for ball one. That hits the inside edge for strike one. Well, Petschke had a insanely good 2023 at Samford. Of course, got him the minor league deal with the Astros. But he ranked second in saves in their program's history for a single season with 14. So he was the closer for Samford and ends up moving all the way to the starting rotation here for Evansville just 3 years later. Made the all-SoCon second team. That one hits the dirt. Good block from Mark Black, and it's 2-2. Ranked third in the country with 14 saves as well. SoCon Pitcher of the Month in May as well. 1.88 ERA and 7 saves in May with Samford. Grounder to third. It's Cruz. Throw across the diamond to first. And a nice 1-2-3 inning for Petschke in the third. A good recovery after giving up that run in the top of the second. As we head to the bottom of the third inning, Otters with a 2-1 lead on the Otters Media Network.
This is the Precision Pest and Wildlife third inning. Every great team brings precision to the field. We bring it to your home and business. Call 812-993-3341 or visit precisionpestwildlife.com. Let's elevate the standard together. Leading off, batting ninth, the left fielder, number 45, Adonis Forte.
It is time for the professional baseball debut for Adonis Forte as he leads off here in the bottom of the third inning. Facing off against Westcott in his third inning of work, he takes ball one. Forte was at Rockhurst last season. Actually spent 4 seasons with Rockhurst, but did very well with them. 357 last year in 43 games. That will hit the zone for strike one. Blade in the exhibition matches. 0 for 1 with a walk in both of them against Florence. Now getting his first bit of professional work in the regular season as he swings and misses, and it's 1-2. Forte, resident of Omaha, Nebraska, was originally with Southeast Missouri State for his first season, but transferred to Rockhurst for 2022, was there for the rest of his collegiate career as he swings and misses for strike three. And that is the second strikeout of the day for Westcott. As we head to the top of the lineup yet again, second time through the order for Westcott, starts with Ponder. So John Ponder flew out to right field. Brendan Bobo had to fight the sun, but now, as mentioned, bottom of the third, Bobo is now in the shade as well as everybody else on the field. Sun really sets quickly here in Evansville. It probably, it probably sets this at the same pace as everywhere else, but either way, we had pretty much no shade when the game started, and now everyone's got it except for the picnic deck out in right field. Sorry to those guys out there. Gonna have to wait a little bit longer if you want to, I guess, actually see what's going on. 0-2. Quickly, good pitcher's count for Westcott. His 0-2 pitch. Fouled back. Foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. Westcott, as mentioned, was was with Windy City in 2016. Actually spent his first 3 seasons in professional ball with the Thunderbolts, 2016, 2017, and 2018, with stints in the Atlantic League with the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. One, two, fouls one off himself. In that 2018 season, he pitched 132 and a third innings, in which he only actually pitched against Evansville once. That was on May the 22nd, through 7 innings, 1 earned run, 5 hits, and 11 strikeouts in a loss. That 11 strikeouts was his season high in 2018. 1-2. Grounder down the third base line, foul. Bullpen for the for the Yalls trying to get it off the carom. I don't know who was down over there, but had the glove ready to go. Maybe the makeshift ball boy, one of the guys that isn't pitching today, over on Florence's side of things. Their dugouts on the third base side. Otters are on the first. Breaking ball swung on and missed by Ponder, and that is back-to-back strikeouts for Westcott to get the first 2 outs in the bottom of the third.
Second baseman, number 12, Amani Jones.
Amani Jones grounded out to short in his first at-bat in the first inning. Second at-bat from the left side. He takes strike 1. .114 and 2/3 innings in 2017 with Windy City. Only pitched 1 game against Evansville in that season as well. 5 1/3, 4 earned runs, 10 hits. But the only game he pitched that season without allowing a walk, as he ended up walking only 36 to 88 strikeouts in 2017. He's still going. That was almost 10 years ago, and he's still here. Still pitching. 86 on the fastball, but it misses high for ball 1. Fastball a little bit on the slower side, but it's mostly the speed change between the fastball, the curveball, and the changeup that is still pretty lethal, even in his mid-30s. Inside, and it's 2-2. No walks so far for Westcott. 2-2. Swung on and missed, and Westcott strikes out the side in the bottom of the third inning. He's up to 4 Ks on the day. As we head to the top of the 4th inning, the Otters still with a 2-1 lead on the Otters Media Network.
It's time for Hickory Pit Stop's Pull the Pork Challenge. Brought to you by, of course, Hickory Pit Stop right across the road over there. We've got the girls on my left. We got a bunch of girl names against the boys on the right. A bunch of boy names. The first one to pull the green thing in the middle, past the line on the coach's box, will be your winning team. Kids, are you ready? Set, pull.
Brett Blomquist leads off the top of the 4th inning for the Alls. First pitch from Petschke just misses away for ball 1. Blomquist struck out looking in the 2nd inning, the only K looking that Petschke has today out of his 4. Both starters with 4 strikeouts through 3 innings. Petschke really on that first base side of the rubber. 2-0 misses high, and it's 3-0. Already a walk allowed for Petschke. That was in the 2nd inning. Dylan Baker walked, ended up advancing to 3rd, but didn't come around to score. 3-0. All right, down the middle, and it's 3-1. Petschke works pretty quick here. I think both pitchers are working quite fast. That's why the game's kind of been flying by. That is ball 4, a little high, and Blomquist will take first on the leadoff walk. First leadoff man to reach for Florence today.
Second baseman, 99, Keenan Taylor.
That'll bring up Keenan Taylor. Keenan Taylor has yet to get a hit off of his old team in this series. Decent lead off of first from Blomquist. Heyman is a pinch hitter both games, but does have some good speed. 13 for 16 last season with North Greenville. First pitch just misses for ball 1. Keenan Taylor, his dad Todd, is a big part of the Indiana Pacers front office. Diving catch at 3rd, throw on a 2nd for 1, to 1st, double play! J.J. Cruz doing it all, hits the 2-run homer, and then the diving play over at 3rd to start the 5-4-3. And there are 2 outs in the top of the 4th.
Please play responsibly. The catcher, 71, Zach Beal.
It's a Hoosier Lottery Powerball double play. Play ball with the Hoosier Lottery and please play responsibly. Great play by J.J. Cruz. And the first pitch by Zach Beadle is skied foul. J.J. Cruz finally getting some playing time in this series and making the absolute most out of it so far on both sides of the ball. All of a sudden, Petschke 1 strike away from getting out of things. Just misses. Petschke wanted that strike 3 call. Bossy Field definitely wanted that strike 3 call. Doesn't quite get it, though. Only 1 and 2, though. Beadle hit a single, came around to score the only Alls run. Grounder over to 3rd. Easier test for Cruz. Just makes the lazy throw to 1st in time. And a 1-2-3 for Petschke yet again. As we head to the bottom of the 4th inning, the Otters still hold on to a 2-1 lead on the Otters Media Network.
It's time to show us your best smiles for the HRI Dental Smile Cam. Over 300,000 members trust HRI Dental, based right here in the Hoosier state of Indiana. HRI Dental has been ensuring smiles for more than 37 years. Keep on smiling with HRI Dental. Also, a round of applause for our volunteers as they help brush off the
Welcome to the bottom of the fourth inning. Fourth inning brought to you by Sheet Metals Worker, Local 20. I've done that twice now. For 138 years, sheet metal workers have led the way in sheet metal industries like heating and air, architectural, industrial, and more. Visit smart20evansville.com for more information. I am so sorry. Dennis Pierce leads off here in the bottom of the fourth inning. It's Pierce, Brown, and Black. So Dennis Pierce in a couple colors are the top three here in the bottom of the fourth inning. 3, 4, 5 guys in the lineup. Dennis Pierce grounded out to third in the first inning to end the first. Zach Westcott did a very solid job in the bottom of the third, striking out the side. So now he's up to 4 Ks on the day. First pitch, 66-mile-per-hour curveball. This is outside for ball 1. I will be monitoring to see how slow his curveball can get. 66 so far, the lowest. That's a fastball, and it's skied into left center. Schoenfeld will call off Tucker and make the catch for out number 1.
First baseman, number 28, Logan Brown.
Logan Brown in a bit of a slump after a very solid first game of the series, which he went 2 for 4 with a homer and 3 RBIs, has now gone 0 for 6 since then. Inside for ball 1. Brown only hit 150 against Florence last season. 3 for 20. Already has almost as many hits in this series as he did all of last year against the Yalls. Breaking ball hits the zone, and it's 1-1. Brown grounded out to shortstop in the second inning. 0 for 1 on the day. That one's high and outside for ball 2. Logan Brown drafted in the 35th round of the 2018 draft out of the local college in the University of Southern Indiana, just down the street from here. Another reason why he's pretty well known in the area. Not only is he from here, but he went to college here. Stayed here for basically, his entire youth life up until college, and then obviously got drafted. You can't really play in Indiana when you get drafted by the Braves. They don't have a team here. A little bit of a defensive swing from Brown. He fouls it back to the screen, and it remains at 2-2. He did start his minor league baseball tenure with the Braves in the GCL. 272. Ended up playing with the Rome Braves in 2019. So that one's outside, makes it a full count. Was a South Atlantic League All-Star selection. Got called up to the High A Florida Fire Frogs. Now that's a name. that is one heck of a name. Gets a piece of another one. That one's fouled off to the left side. Now, why didn't the Florida Fire Frogs stay a team? That seems like, honestly, it sounds like a summer collegiate team. We talked about this yesterday. These collegiate summer teams just have the craziest names of all time. Another one fouled back from Brown. The Fire Frogs were only in the Braves organization from 2017 to 2020, so Logan Brown caught them at a very good time. Another payoff into right field, but it's foul. Would have been extra bases, but it hits the bullpen of the Otters. And Brendan Bobo trying to get the ball over the wall to a young fan out there in right field. So nice little souvenir given to what is most likely an Otters fan coming from a y'all in Bobo. So a nice little gesture from him. Another payoff. That one's fair, but it's going to be a fly out to right field. Bobo makes the catch, and that's out number 2. So Zach Westcott has now retired the last 7 Otters he's faced ever since that 2-run homer from J.J. Cruz.
The catcher, number 29, Mark Black.
Mark Black stands in. Got a hit in his first at-bat. Was the first run that scored of the 2 on the Cruz home run. Another curveball at 66. I'm trying to see if 65 is in his wheelhouse here. But it seems like we're just hitting 66 right now. It's 66 to 70 right now on the curveball. That is skied into foul ground. Making a run after it is Blomquist. He runs out of room over towards the tarp. And it's overhead foul ball brought to you by His Construction. Choose the best, never regret it.
Construction, choose the best, never regret it. Hey, there's Aaron Hancock for 14 years. We appreciate him. Being at the ballpark here this evening, also appreciate Aiden Crowley and Eyewitness News being here earlier. Watch for the highlights on the late local news before SNL.
(0-2) from Westcott. A little bit outside. Four strikeouts for Westcott. All of them coming in the second and the third inning. First inning did get the 1-2-3, but it was on a fly out and 2 groundouts. Grounder down the third base line, foul. Well, next inning it'll be Baker, Tucker, and Bobo, the 8-9-1 hitters for the Y'alls. As mentioned before, these two teams play each other next week in Florence, but in the middle of that, Florence will play their first home series of the season against the Mississippi Mud Monsters. 1-2 fouls it off himself. Mississippi in their second season, as well as the Down East Bird Dogs. Mississippi currently beating the Grizzlies 7-2 at home. Scored 5 in the third, 2 in the second. Meanwhile, Ottawa and Quebec are looking like they might go to extras again. There's a grounder over to third. Playing the hop is Blomquist, and the ball got stuck in his glove. Wow. So Mark Black will reach, and it's going to be a very lucky base hit. Blomquist, I don't know, not sure what happened. Looked like it was a routine play, but I just don't think he could get the get the ball out of his glove, and Mark Black was already near first by the time he did. That's a wild play, and a very interesting way for Mark Black to get his second hit of the day. He's 2 for 2. So the first base runner since J.J. Cruz's home run. Hank Zeisler was having a little fun with him over at first base. They're checking the glove
While we have a moment,
over at third base.
we do have a score update from the SPHL, Game 5 of that hockey series. And Peoria and Evansville are tied at 1 with 8 minutes left to go in the first period.
So for people that just missed that announcement, in the SPHL, the Evansville Thunderbolts are playing in Game 5 of the championship series. They were down 2-0, ended up winning 2 straight games on the 6th and the 7th of May. That Game 4 being on the on Otters opening day. And now they are tied at 1 in Game 5. That's at Peoria. Peoria, the 1 seed, facing off against Evansville, the 4 seed. Evansville trying to win their 2nd straight SPHL championship. Meanwhile, the Otters are trying to start 3-0. Could be a good day for Evansville sports. Back pick to first. Black is back there safely. Some good pop time by Beetle. And a good throw, but Mark Black just had the reflexes to get back there in time. The pitch was called a strike on Cruz. The reason why the Otters are up by 1, he hit one over the right field wall. His first homer of the year. Fouled off to the left side, and it's 0-2. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that SPHL game, as well as the other scores in the Frontier League, especially that Quebec-Ottawa series. The Otters don't play a single team in the North Division, but everyone's on Quebec watch because they've won the last 4 championships. Popped up, foul ground. Blomqvist making a big run at it, and he will run it down in foul ground to make the catch for out number 3. So we're heading to the 5th inning as the Otters still up 2-1 on the Otters Media Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field your Southwest Graphics Amazing Otter Bells.
Have you seen Evan Young around lately? Make sure you tell him hello when you do. Evan's excited to see all of our fans and encourages you to visit Heritage Welcome Heritage, proud partner of the Evansville Otters. We have a special announcement here for the Otters team store. I'd like to wish a very happy 40th birthday to Allison Miles. Allison Miles, thanks for spending your 40th birthday with the Evansville Otters. Have a great rest of your day.
Top of the 5th inning. Brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Bottomless apps are now here. Dine and only visit either Evansville locations, 5405 Pearl Drive and 715 North Green River Road for details. Dylan Baker leads off the top of the 5th inning and takes a ball outside from Petchke, who's back out there. Pretty good start for Petchke. Trying to go 5 of 1-run ball. No bullpen activity for the Otters as Baker swings and misses. We do have somebody warming up in the Florence Yalls bullpen, and that will be Aiden McAvoy. One called strike 2. The Yalls lost their first 1-run game of the season yesterday on the walk-off. They were 9-18 in 1-run games last year. They started the season 2-10 in 1-run games last year after losing 9 straight. So a bit of a rough stretch for them. On the other side, the Otters went 14-18 in 1-run games as Dylan Baker swings and misses for strike 3. And the German-American bank strikeout is number 5 on the day for Petschke, and it's out number 1 here in the top of the 5th inning. Bottom of the order, Jackson Tucker coming up for his second at-bat. He singled in the only run of the day for Florence, scoring Beetle from second, and ended up stealing second. Didn't advance from there, though. First pitch is called a ball. High chopper, gonna be a tough test for Cruz. It bounces away from him, but it goes into foul ground. So the ball not touching J.J. Cruz was actually kind of a blessing for the Otters, as the weird roll caused it to move into foul ground. It definitely would have been an infield single if it stayed fair, but unfortunately for Tucker, he is the recipient of another strike. Toby Hall came out to talk to the home plate umpire, Mateus Puscalo, but it was a bit of a short conversation. And we're back and ready to go here, 1-1. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball inside, called a ball, and it's 2-1. There's a big hole in between the middle infielders. That one's popped up foul. Making a run after it is Logan Brown, but it will fall over the bullpen of the Otters and bounce back in. Everybody sitting in a row there for the Otters. Nobody warming. As mentioned, McAvoy still, it looks like he's doing his form of long toss before he actually starts throwing some warm-up pitches over in the left field corner. After the foul ball, now the 2-2. Gets a piece of it, fouls it back. If the Otters have a good season this year, they're on the verge of actually going back over 500 all time. Right now they're at 1348 and 1356. So if they finish 9 games over 500 this year, they're going to be back over 500 overall. And honestly, if you finish 9 games over 500, you might make the playoffs. You got to really be in a tough situation if you finish 9 games over and you end up losing, or you end up missing the playoffs. Another 2-2, just inside, and that's ball 3. Some disagreement from the Bossy faithful. 3-2 up the middle and into center field for a base hit. So Jackson Tucker is on with his second single of the day. He's 2 for 2, and it's back to the top of the order, and Brendan Bobo with a runner on first and 1 out.
Back to the top of the order, right fielder 3, Brendan Bobo.
Bobo is 0 for 2 on the day. And overall this season now starting 0 for 10 with 6 strikeouts. Tucker mentioned has some speed, and there's the first hit of the season for Bobo as he hits one into right field. And it's back-to-back singles off of Petschke. Puts 2 on with 1 out for Tyler Schoenefeld. So 2 on, 1 out as Florence is threatening yet again here in the top of the 5th inning. Only down 1. So the tying run in scoring position, the go-ahead run on first, now in Bobo. First pitch. Shows bunt, pulls it back, and it's called a low ball. Otters will get some movement in the bullpen after the back-to-back singles. See who's first up after this 1-0 pitch. Petchke kicks and deals. Grounder down the first base line. That'll go over to the Otters bullpen, but called a foul ball. Let's take a look at who is in the bullpen for said Otters. That is Ryan Wiltsey. Haven't seen Wiltsey yet this season, at least in this series. Saw him in the exhibition games against Florence. There he is right there. Another one shows bunt, pulled it back, but it was a great breaking ball, called a strike, and it's 1-2. So Schoenfeld pretty much out of options here. Can't show the bunt. If he misses that, strike 3 and a big second out. Gonna have to swing away here. Cruz and Pierce up on the grass in the corner infield. Even now that the bunt's out of play, both runners go, and it's fouled back to the screen as Tucker and Bobo will have to go back to their respective bases. Tucker had a great jump. He definitely would have been safe by a couple steps if Schoenfeld hadn't fouled that one away. But now it sticks to first and second with one out. 1-2. Grounder up the middle, scooped up, throw to second for one, on to first, and a great double play to end the inning. Jones, Salvaggio to Brown at first. And the second double play of the day for the Otters keeps the lead at 2-1 as we are halfway home on the Otters Media Network.
It's now time for some cornhole. Out here in left field, we've got Zach versus James. James with the outside, Zach is the coach. They're going to alternate throws to the board, and whoever has the most points when it's said and done is your winner. They each got 3 bags. Ready when you are. Two halves. There you go. Zach is your winner.
Leading off for the Evansville Otters, the shortstop number 19, TJ Salvaggio.
TJ Salvaggio, who was a part of that double play to end the inning, will fly out to center field on the first pitch he sees to lead off the bottom of the 5th inning. So we saw a slight glimpse of Salvaggio, but now first out here as Toby Hall will come out and take his pitching coach out of the game. It's just a very interesting dynamic. But the manager takes the pitching coach out of the game. Pretty solid 5 innings of work for Westcott. 4 1/3 to be exact. 3 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts. as Westcott will come out of the game here. And Aiden McAvoy will step in his place. So we will be right back after a quick one pitch out, a pitching change here on the Otters Media Network.
Florence home bullpen, 10, Aiden McAvoy. And to pitch. McAvoy's on the mound. Beetle behind the plate. Pitcher catcher batteries powered by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East. 2319 North River Road or 812-475-9000. And a hockey score update. They are through the first period, and Evansville is on top of Peoria 2-1.
Well, we got a little bit of a cheer here at EVSC's historic Bosse Field as it was announced that the Evansville Thunderbolts have taken a 2-1 lead over the Peoria Rivermen in the Game 5 of the SPHL Championship Series. While we are still waiting on McAvoy to throw his warm-up pitches, let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Trois Rivières is up 4-2 against Windy City. They have yet to play a game until today, which is a little bit interesting. They also have their first home game on May 26th, so a very long road trip to start off the season, but looking like it's going to go off to a good start, trying to beat Windy City. Washington's up on Joliet 8-4 in the 6th, and the Mud Monsters are beating the Grizzlies 7-2. 8-0, the Boomers are blowing out the Crushers after a 7-run fourth inning. New Jersey trying to survive against the Valley Cats 7-4. The Valley Cats have scored 2 in the 9th. Bird Dogs are blowing out Sussex County 8-0. Brockton and New York are close. Brockton up 5-4. And Ottawa beat Quebec for their first win of the season on a walk-off in the bottom of the 9th. So McAvoy comes in to face Vyers. Throws a ball, first pitch of the day. Now the 1-0 is called strike one. First bit of playing time in the regular season for McAvoy through 2 hitless innings with 4 strikeouts in the exhibition on the first at Florence. Pitched very well and now is in a pitcher's count here, 1-2. Vyers flew out to center in his first at-bat. That ended the second inning. And he swings and misses at strike 3. First strikeout of the day for McAvoy, and that's out number 2 in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Left fielder, number 45, Adonis Forte.
So Toby Hall Toby Hall brings in McAvoy to face 2 straight lefties in Vyers, and Forte gets Vyers swinging, and now it is Forte up for his second at-bat. He struck out swinging in the 3rd inning, and he takes strike 1. The 0-1 pitch gets away from the catcher Beetle, and it's 1-1. So Forte was signed to the Otters as the replacement for Kyle Battle in the outfield. Battle, not too sure when he's going to come back. He was placed on the 14-day IL after his injury in the first game of the series, trying to steal a base in the 2nd inning. As Forte swings and misses, and it's 1-2. John Ponder, the top of the order, on deck. The 1-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So the pitching change for Toby Hall works to perfection as McAvoy strikes out both batters he sees in the bottom of the 5th. As we head to the top half of the 6th inning, the Otters still holding on to a 2-0 lead on the Otters Media Network.
Otter fans, it's time for the Hoosier Lottery's jackpot toss. Otter staff will release Hoosier Lottery beach balls in the crowd when the music starts. Pass the ball through the crowd. When the music stops, He's on the mound. Black behind the plate. Pitcher catcher batteries powered by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East. 2319 North River Road, 812-475 9000.
Top of the 6th inning, and we have a call to the bullpen brought to you by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find all your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or give them a call at 812-475-9000. New pitcher on the mound for the Otters is Ryan Wiltsey, as Ben Pechke finishes with 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, and is in line for the victory if the score holds like this. First pitch inside to Hank Zeisler, who leads it off. It's Zeisler, Richardson, and Blomquist. That one misses low for ball 2. Wiltsey in his 3rd season with the Otters, one of the returners for the squad. 72 innings pitched last season. So that one hits the zone, and it's 2-1. 12 1/3 against Florence, so most he's pitched against a team, second most behind Washington. Gave up 5 earned runs, 9 hits, 4 walks. Struck out 9. 2-1. Inside, and it's 3-1. We'll see the native of Fresno, California. Went to Fresno City for his first college season, then transferred to St. Mary's. That's ripped down the line, and it's foul. It'll go all the way into the corner, but it will be strike 2, and the count runs full. Zeisler is 1 for 2 on the day, singled in the first, grounded out to Logan Brown at first in the 3rd inning. Now faces a 3-2 here against Wiltsey. Payoff pitch. High for ball 4. So the first batter Wiltsey sees today, he walks on a full count. That'll bring up Zade Richardson. Third walk allowed by Otters pitching, 2 walks from Pechke. The 5 innings between Westcott and McAvoy has resulted in 0 walks. So both of those guys pitching a lot of strikes. 4 strikeouts for Westcott and 2 in back-to-back batters for McAvoy. First pitch was a ball, now the 1-0. Outside, and it's 2-0, and Mark Black will come out to have a conversation with Wiltsey, as he's been a little wild to start off his outing today. Richardson struck out swinging in the first inning, then grounded out to J.J. Cruz in the 3rd. Zeisler on first, getting covered by Brown. Fouled back to the screen. The Otters have yet to put a lefty at first base so far. Dennis Pierce and Logan Brown. Jordan Vyers, who's out in right field, is a lefty that took reps at first in spring training, but they haven't thrown him out there for a regular season game quite yet. He's played all 3 of those games out in right. 2-1, swung on and missed, so the mound visit working pretty well so far. Mark Black comes out to the mound and immediately 2 strikes, makes it 2-2. It has been 2-1 since the 2nd inning. Grounder over to short, past the slide of Salvaggio and into left field for a base hit. Zade Richardson has a single, his first hit of the day, and it's first and second with nobody out. The Yalls threatening again here in the top of the 6th inning. That'll bring up Blomquist. So a bit of a sticky situation here for Wiltsey in his first outing of the season. Corner infielders in, expecting the bunt here from Blomquist. Does show, does pop it up right to J.J. Cruz for out number 1. So the bunt doesn't work out in Blomquist's favor, goes right to Cruz, who is positioned perfectly. And that is a big first out. Double play can get him out of this here, and they have already grounded into 2 of them. Keenan Taylor grounded into the first one. Great dive over at third by Cruz, ended up being a 5-4-3, and then Schoenfeld in the 5th inning, 4-6-3. So last 2 innings have resulted in double plays. See if they can get a 3rd straight here. First pitch called a strike. Taylor 2 ground outs, as mentioned, the double play. Also grounded out to short in the 2nd inning. Oh, 1. It's the zone, and it's 0-2. Taylor will call time as he is in a good pitcher's count for Wiltsey. .64 strikeouts last season for Wiltsey. 10.4 hits per 9 given up, though. Facing the 0-2. Would be a big out number 2. Here's the pitch. A little high on the fastball. Makes it 1-2. Zach Beadle on deck. He has a single already today. Taylor trying to do some damage against his former squad. Driving his first RBI of the season. 1-2. That one will get past Mark Black. Mark Black doesn't know where it is, and both runners will advance to 2nd and 3rd. So a wild pitch takes out the easy double play scenario. Keenan Taylor now has the tying run 90 feet away and the go-ahead run in scoring position at 2nd. Zeisler at 3rd. Richardson over there at 2nd base. Now strikeout, best possible outcome here to get out number 2. 2-2. There's a fly ball into deep left center field, going back at the wall, and it is a 3-run homer for Keenan Taylor. So Keenan Taylor does do the most amount of damage possible off of his former team and his former teammate in Wiltsey, his first homer of the year. And Florence takes a 4-2 lead here in the top of the 6th inning.
Pitcher 71, Zach Beadle.
Well, it was bound to happen. You know, Keenan Taylor playing with some extra fire. Back at Bosse Field after playing here as a member of the home team for all of last season. Now a part of the enemy and takes advantage of the haters. The haters are fueling him. And definitely fueled a swing that brought it over the yard, over the Budweiser sign out in left field. And now the Yalls have a 2-run lead. This is their largest lead of the series. 2-1 now to Beadle. Taylor 15 homers last season for Evansville. Now has one against Evansville this season. There's a fly ball into right field. That'll drop in for a base hit. and it'll get past Vyers, and that means Beadle will take the extra 90. So Vyers misplays it out in right field. It will be a single and an error that advances Beadle to second base, and well, Florence, the hits keep coming for him. 3 already in this inning, and now a 4th. Possibly on the way here with 1 out. We'll see Max Peterson come out to the mound. I haven't seen too many mound visits in this series just because the pitching has been pretty good so far, but Peterson out there as we have some more motion in the Otters bullpen. David Eckes is the man warming for Evansville. Take a look at the replay of the Beadle single. Immediately sees that it gets past Vyers and takes advantage. Heads to second base, and it's another runner in scoring position for the Yalls here in the top of the 6th inning. Dylan Baker, first pitch to him, is swung on and missed for strike 1. Otters got Eckes warming really quickly into the bullpen. Most likely the lefty to face the top of the order with the 3 lefties at the top in Bobo, Shaney, Felton, Zeisler. That one's high, and it's 1-1. Dylan Baker is 0 for 1, walked in the 2nd inning and struck out swinging. In the 5th was the 5th of 5 strikeouts for Petchke, who is no longer in line for the victory in Game 3 of the series. Called strike 2, and it's 1-2 against Baker. Still only 1 out. Bottom of the order, and Jackson Tucker looms on deck. Already 2 for 2 on the day. The 1-2 is high for ball 2. So 1 run in the 2nd inning for Florence. Evansville gets 2 on the 2-run homer from Cruz, but otherwise not too much offensively for the Otters today. Meanwhile, 8 hits on with 4 runs. And a swing and a miss for Dylan Baker. So the first strikeout of the day for Wiltsey, and that's out number 2 here in the top of the 6th inning. It's all about keeping the deficit at 2 now after the 3-run homer from Taylor. Tucker 2 singles. Drove in that first run for Florence in the 2nd inning. Drove in Beadle. Now has Beadle in scoring position yet again. Also singled in the 5th inning. 0-1. Fly ball into foul ground. Brown will give it a look, but it will fall onto the roof. Foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. I feel as though Zane is copying me at this point. It's almost like we have the same reads. Good pitchers count for Wiltsey, 0-2. That one's high, fastball at 88, and it's 1-2. Trying to get out of the inning as Tucker calls timeout. Walk, single, Wild pitch advanced them both. Blomquist tried to bunt him over, wasn't able to do so, but it didn't matter. Keenan Taylor, the big swing of the day, puts Florence on top. One, two. Grounder over to second. There's Jones. He'll toss it over to first. And that's out number 3. So Miltsy does get out of the inning, but not before Keenan Taylor does huge damage against his former team. The 3-run homer puts the Yalls on top 4-2 as we head to the bottom of the 6th on the Otters Media Network.
Time for the dance cam. We need everybody to get up and show us those dance moves. Our top dancer is going home with a prize. So a prize is on the line. Who's going to impress our judges with those dancing moves? I see someone doing the gritty in front of the press box wearing the orange shirt. I'm impressed. He's my pick for the winner, but I don't have a vote. Or perhaps I do. Oh, do the gritty for your mom. She wants to get a video of it. There we go. More than 20,000 hours of community service were provided by our scouts in the Buffalo Trace Council last year. Don't forget to check out the Otterston Team Store. Say hello to my good friend Edie. All the latest merchandise and apparel. Hey, someone's actually doing the Macarena. Who else remembers the 90s? I do. Good time.
6th inning brought to you by United Fidelity Bank. United Fidelity Bank, the experience you need and the service you deserve since 1914. Otters have some work to do now, down 2 in the bottom of the 6th inning. John Ponder, Amani Jones, Dennis Pierce. The top 3 in the order lead off the bottom of the 6th. The Otters needing 2 to tie and 3 to take the lead and try and sweep the Yalls at home in their first series of the season. Yalls looking to come out of this series with at least a win before they head home and play Mississippi. First pitch is a strike to Ponder. The 0-1 hits the zone, and it's strike 2. McAvoy played with Joliet last season. Florence traded for him on March 20th in exchange for Sean Gamelin. O2 is outside. Last season with Joliet, McAvoy had a 4.47 ERA and 94 2/3 innings. Was mostly a starter, but now is coming out of the bullpen, most likely in long relief for Florence. He's a good bullpen arm. He's been pitching pretty well to start the season.
Brought to you by Ed's Construction. Choose the best. Never regret it.
Pitched against Evansville last season, 1 game through 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 5 hits, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. Pitched twice against Florence, and that was when he started the season in the bullpen. Ended up becoming a starter near the end of the year, as that one misses low for ball 2. Pitched against Florence on the 19th of June, 1 1/3, 3 earned runs, 2 hits, no walks, 3 strikeouts. And then July 13th, 2 innings, no earned runs, 1 hit, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. There's a fly ball into right field. Bobo is going back on it at the wall, and it's gone off the wall. Ponder's going all the way to third, and he's out at third. A great relay. As Ponder gets thrown out trying to stretch it to a triple. And that is a big momentum shifter And a momentum booster for Florence. It looked like it was going out at first. Bobo didn't really react too much to it going over his head up until it actually went over his head. Those white signs out in right field make it a little harder to see out here, but almost got a hold of one. That was 97 off the bat. What was extra bases turns into out number one, though, as it is a double for Ponder, but he gets thrown out trying to stretch it to 3. Foul ball kind of went off the knee of Beetle. The extra bases had EVSC's Bossy Field rocking a little bit for the first time in a minute. That one's down the line, and that's a fair ball. Going into the corner. Jones will try and test another arm, throw to second base. That one's not in time. And Amani Jones has a double. Deerhead double-decker double. Technically back-to-back doubles, but top of the lineup for the Otts are hitting the ball hard off of McAvoy to begin the bottom of the 6th inning. This is a team that, small sample size, only 2 games, but seem to fight back fairly well from adversity. First pitch to Dennis Pierce is low for ball 1. Pierce representing the tying run at the plates. The 1-0. Grounder down the line. It's foul. That would have brought in Jones. It would have been 3rd straight double of the day, but just squeaks right of the white line. Another arm in the Otters bullpen. Could just be Eckes again. There's a lot of guys in the Otters bullpen that are protecting Eckes from foul balls. There's a good 8-9 guys out there. Everybody just comes off from the chairs out there to block him. Grounder over to short. It's Baker. Throw on to first in time for out number 2. Logan Brown. 0 for 7 slump for him so far. It, though, could bring in that 3rd run for the Otters. Outside, and it's 1-0. McAvoy played for 3 different schools in his collegiate career. Longwood in 2020 and 2021, transferred to Community College, Dyersburg State in 2022. 1-0's fouled away. After that 2022 season, he was originally committed to Charlotte, didn't end up going there, and eventually went to Georgia State, played 2 seasons there. And then in 2024 was in the Pioneer League with the Glacier Range Riders. 14.1 strikeouts per 9 with Glacier, a franchise record. That one's outside, and it's 2-1 to Brown. 69 strikeouts in 44 innings was the 14.1 Ks per 9. Was a little bit wild, though. 10 hit by pitches and 12 wild pitches thrown. You can see that slider goes a little, sometimes goes a little too far into the other batter's box, which is probably where the majority of those wild pitches are coming from. The 3-1 from McAvoy. That is called a strike. Brown thought it was ball 4. And he gets the bad news. He'll get the bat back from Mark Black. That's a major tongue twister. And it's a full count with 2 outs. So 3-2, 2 outs. Jones still standing over there at second base. Here's the pitch. And Brown gets a good piece of it, fouls it away to stay alive. It is still 3-2 and still a Y'alls 4-2 lead. Another payoff, another foul ball. Logan Brown definitely doing a good job at staying alive in these at-bats and making them longer up in the pitch counts for the Y'alls pitchers. And in that cleanup spot. And another payoff from McAvoy. Soft grounder over to second base. Scooped up by Taylor. Throw on to first in time. And that's out number 3. So the Otters with back-to-back doubles, but unable to get a run across in the bottom of the 6th. We head to the 7th inning. The Y'alls with a 4-2 lead on the Otters Media Network.
Otters come to the bullpen. David Eckes in to pitch. Eckes is on the mound. Black behind the plate. Pitch change of battery. Gone by the Evansville Otters. Find your battery needs at the Evansville Otters. 2319 under Baroni. 12475 9000. Tell them St. from the Otters sent you. We do have a hockey score update. 10 minutes left to go in the second period, and Evansville leads Peoria 4-2. To the 7th inning we go. 7th inning brought to you by Jacobs Pub. Jacobs Pub is proud to support the Evansville Otters and the Jacobsville neighborhood. Be sure to check out First Fridays on North Main. Jacobs Pub at 607 North Main Street. Well, one Evansville team is leading 4-2, and that's the Thunderbolts. They're winning in Game 5 of the championship series, trying to go and win the championship after being down 2-0. Unfortunately for the Otters, it's 4-2 the other way here as the Y'alls lead it by 2. New pitcher into the game, David Eckes for the Otters. The lefty trying to face the only 3 lefties in the order. The top 3 in the lineup for Florence in Bobo, Schoenfeld, and Zeisler. David Eckes, the first pitcher for the Otters to pitch in multiple games so far as he skies one. Bobo has to duck out of the way of ball 1. Eckes pitched yesterday, gave up a hit. No earned runs, though, in an inning. Struck a guy out as well, his first pro strikeout. And he misses another one, 2-0. Bobo got his first hit of the season in his last at-bat. That one misses inside, and Eckes falls behind 3-0
to Bobo with Felt on deck. Bobo 1 for 3 today. That is high for ball 4. And it's a 4-pitch walk to lead off the top of the 7th for Florence.
0, Tyler Schoenfeld.
Felt now with a runner on first and nobody out. Did ground into a double play with Bobo on first in his last at-bat, 4-6-3. Ended the 5th inning. Takes ball 1. So 5 straight balls to begin the outing for Eckes. The 1-0. Shows bunt, pulls it back, and has to fall all the way back out of the box. 2-0. Eckes not able to locate here to start off the inning. 2-0 pitch. Shows bunt. Does pull it back, but it's called a strike. And the first strike of the inning for Eckes makes it 2-1. Felt overall 1 for 3. Now 2 for 13 in the series. Both hits coming yesterday. Drops the bunt down, and it's a perfectly placed bunt tossed to first, and he beats it out. And an infield single for Felt on a very perfectly placed bunt that just gets past Eckes and was moving a little too slow for Jones to pick it up and flip it over to first in time. The 9th hit of the day for Florence. First and second with nobody out for Hank Zeisler. Corners in. No bunt showed for Zeisler, and it's called strike 1. So first and second, nobody out after the walk and the single. The 0-1. This is outside. Zeisler does have a base hit already. Got that base hit in the first inning. Grounded out to first in the 3rd and walked in the 6th. Was one of the runs that came around to score after the 3-run homer by Keenan Taylor. Reaches out and pokes one into center field for a base hit. Bobo had a late start, so he'll get the stop sign at 3rd. But a walk and 2 singles have the bases loaded with nobody out in the 7th inning, and the Yalls are trying to extend that 4-2 lead.
9, Zane Richardson.
Zade Richardson trying to do what he was put in the cleanup spot to do. And that's hit with the bases loaded. But first we'll have a mound visit and a pitching change. Eckes faces 3 lefties and is unable to get any of them out. So we'll head to the bullpen for another pitching change. Eckes is unable to get an out, and he is responsible for all 3 runners on. New pitcher comes into the game on the Otters Media Network.
Otters come to the bullpen.
So the pitching change made by the Otters. Nolan Thebe's into the game, pitching in his second game of the season. Thunderbolts up 5-2 on the Peoria Rivermen. They're looking like they're going to win that championship. So a hockey championship going to the SPHL, going to Evansville for the Thunderbolts. There is still 8:30 remaining in the second period, so we'll still keep an eye on things. But let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Trois Rivières is up on Windy City 4-2 in the top of the ninth inning. 12-4, the Wild Things are beating up on the Slammers in the bottom of the eighth. Gateway's trying to make a comeback. It's now 7-4. It was 7-2 a little bit earlier. That's in the bottom of the seventh inning. Schaumburg still beating Lake Erie by 8. It's 9-1 in the seventh. Tri-City ended up falling to New Jersey 7-4. Down East beat Sussex County 8-0. Brockton and New York 6-5. The Boulders have the lead. A couple games started a little late due to rain. There was a little storm that was passing through near Lake Erie and the southern part of Canada over near Ottawa and Toronto and Montreal. Thebe into the game, throws a first pitch ball to Zade Richardson. Bases loaded, nobody out. Y'all's trying to extend their lead, and they will do just that as that's a base hit into center field. Schoenfeld got a late start this time, but Bobo comes in to score. That run will be given to David Eckes, and it's 5-2 Florence. Blomquist now, his turn with the bases loaded, nobody out. Still two more runners on, the responsibility of Eckes at second and third. First pitch from Thebe. Will hit the zone for strike one. It's Schoenfeld at third, Zeisler at second, and now Zade Richardson at first after his RBI single. The lead is now 3 for the Yalls. The 0-1. Grounder up the middle. That'll go to Jones. Jones tags the bag. Throw to first is high. And looks like Logan Brown went off the bag. And so he will be called safe at first. Blomquist will. And another run comes in off the back door. Schoenfeld scores after the RBI fielder's choice from Blomquist, and it's now 6-2.
Second baseman, 99, Keenan Taylor.
So a little bit of a high throw from Amani Jones. Takes Logan Brown off the bag, and it looks like when he landed, he wasn't on the bag at first as well, and Blomquist is able to reach on the fielder's choice. Another grounder up the middle, past the dive of Jones into center field. And all three runners that Eckes has allowed to reach have come in to score. And for the second straight game, the Yalls have scored 3 runs in back-to-back innings. A lot of base hits up the middle in this inning for Florence. Just a lot of contact up the middle. That Amani Jones fielder's choice was up the middle as well, just a little bit slower. That one from Taylor was 100 off the bat. First pitch swinging and missing for Beetle. So Keenan Taylor is now driven in 4 runs, and it's a 7-2 Yalls lead. The 0-1 from Thebe. Swung on and missed for strike 2. So with all 3 of those runs scoring, the final score line for Eckes is 0.0 innings pitched with 2 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, and 0 strikeouts. Thebe responsible for both runners on. Blomquist and Taylor. 0-2. Just outside on the fastball. Beatles 2 for 3 on the day. Singled in the second, came around to score. Grounded out to third, and then singled again in the 6th inning and advanced to second on an error in right field by Vyers, the only error for both sides in this game. 1-2. Called, strike 3. And a big second out for Thebe, his first strikeout of the day. Is out number 2 in the top of the 7th inning.
Shortstop.
7th strikeout for Otters pitching. Dylan Baker coming up trying to extend that lead for Florence. A lead that was 1 back in the 2nd inning is now up to 5. And that one's into left field for a base hit. Getting the round at third is Blomquist. Throw goes to Cruz. It's cut off, and another RBI single, this time for Dylan Baker, and Florence takes an 8-2 lead.
Left fielder, 55, Jackson Tucker.
So that run will be charged to Thebe. 4 runs here in the top of the 7th inning after 3 in the 6th. Something about those 2 innings back-to-back where the Y'alls just have a stretch where they just cannot stop hitting. We saw it yesterday. They scored 6 runs in 2 innings, but Evansville ended up coming back to win that one. This one is a lot less doable. Down 6 now with 9 outs to work with on the offensive side, as the first pitch to Tucker is going to miss for ball 1. One-0 pitch is low for ball 2. No action in either bullpen, which makes the assumption that we will see McAvoy again for another inning. It's Mark Black, J.J. Cruz, T.J. Salvaggio, the 3 that will lead off the bottom of the 7th after the stretch. 2-0. Misses high, and it's 3-0. Brendan Bobo, who led off the 7th inning with a walk, is now on deck. As Florence looks to bat around here in the 7th. 3-0. That will hit the zone for strike 1. In this inning, it has been walk, single, 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 fielder's choice, single, strikeout, single. So 5 singles in this inning. Overall 13 hits for Florence. 3-1 popped up foul. Logan Brown giving it a look. He seems like he has room, but he can't make the catch as it falls in foul ground. It's about how the day's gone so far for the Otters. Everything seems to be just going right for Florence so far today. Luckily for Evansville, they did win the series already in the first 2 games, so you know, can't win them all, but if you win every series, then that's a good season. Got to look at the overall picture. Played very well against this Florence team, but you can't win them all. Payoff pitch, 3-2, runners go. There's a fly ball into center field. Ponder doesn't have to move much, and he will make the catch for out number 3. So the Florence Y'alls have blown it open here. 4 runs in the top of the 7th as we head to the 7th inning stretch. 8-2 Florence on the Otters Media Network.
Here we go. Take me out to the ball game. Take me
Sweet Caroline does not feel as sweet when the team is losing, but we're still having fun around here at EVSC's historic Bossy Field. It's superhero night. Who doesn't love superheroes? They can just do it all. You forget that, Batman is a superhero, even though, he doesn't really have any powers besides being rich. Not a diss at Batman or anything, but I think Spider-Man's a little bit cooler. Just me. Might just be me. Might be a hot take. I'm not too sure. I don't know where everybody's kind of gauging in terms of their superhero knowledge and how dedicated people are to their superheroes, but I really mess with Spider-Man, and that is just my opinion. So McAvoy is out there for another inning of work, as it is now 1-1 to Mark Black. Mark Black has 2 hits on the day. 2 of the 5. He takes inside for ball 2. J.J. Cruz on deck. 2 singles for Black. He scored in the second inning. As that hits the zone for strike 2, makes it 2-2. McAvoy was a bullpen arm with Georgia State when he was in college back in 2023 and 2024. Misses just inside, and the count runs full here with nobody out in the bottom of the 7th. Just misses high and away, and a leadoff walk to Mark Black. Deerhead Sidewalk Cafe and Bar. That is the first walk allowed by Y'all's pitching today. Y'all's have done a good job at throwing strikes so far in this one. Have yet to walk anybody, have yet to hit anybody up until that Mark Black AB. Now has to face off against J.J. Cruz, who has come up to bat each and every time with Mark Black on first. After his 2 singles and now the walk, he definitely took advantage of that one, hit a home run. That home run being the only runs that have scored for Evansville so far today. In the 4th, though, he flew out to the third baseman in Blomquist in foul ground. Takes a first pitch strike. Now, J.J. Cruz, though, has been playing very good defense today as well. He's kind of having a T.J. Salvaggio game like yesterday. Hitting the ball well, playing some good defense. Taking full advantage of his first game of the season. Trying to get some more playing time. Is now the only guy on the roster we haven't seen taking that bat yet is Shane Philman. But Philman played a big part in yesterday's win, was the commissioner's runner at second base in the 10th inning, scored the winning run on the Amani Jones walk-off single. That pitch hits the zone on the outside edge for strike 2, and it's 1-2 to JJ. We've seen 2 balls now go past the catcher. Wonder what is going on over in the Florence bullpen. Somebody's warming up over there. It is Ahmad Harajli out there. And there's somebody warming up over on Evansville's side of things as well. Can't see the jersey number. Unfortunately, we'll have to wait until after this pitch. The 1-2. Check swing, and he did go around for strike 3, the 3rd strikeout of the day for McAvoy. as he gets the sword of Cruz. And that's out number 1.
Salvaggio.
Well, the bottom 3 guys in the lineup have combined to go 0 for 6. Salvaggio, Vyers, and Forte. That one's inside for ball 1. Salvaggio struck out in the 2nd inning, the first strikeout for Westcott, and then flew out to center in the 5th inning. One-0 is inside for ball 2. Luke Baker is the pitcher in the bullpen for the Otters. We've yet to see Harajli yet in this series, but Baker pitched yesterday. 2-0. Will hit the bottom of the zone for strike 1. Windy City has given the Eagles a run for their money. Bases are loaded, nobody out. It's 4-3. Trois Riviere trying not to blow that lead as TJ Salvaggio gets hit in the leg with a pitch. And it looks like Beadle's in some pain as well. So just a massacre going on after that pitch. Salvaggio trying to stay in the game here, but he is grimacing in some pain. Trainer's talking to both Salvaggio and Beadle. We take a look at the replay here. TJ limping off, and then Beadle goes down as well. So a possible ricochet, maybe something that just caught Beadle off guard, but the trainers for both teams are out on the field. And now both trainers are coming off, as it looks like both Beadle and TJ are all right. Well, luckily for TJ, the Otters don't play a game until Tuesday, so has some time to get that bruise and have it go away before the next series. Reminder, we play Washington on Tuesday and Wednesday, doubleheader on Wednesday. 5 and 7:30, 2 7-inning games. Should be one heck of an experience. First doubleheader of the season. And a first pitch strike to Jordan Vyers. Now with 2 on and 1 out. So the Otters trying to put something together here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The 0-1 in the dirt. And it's 1-1. The Otters have another scheduled doubleheader, but it's not until August. August 1st, a scheduled doubleheader against Windy City. Windy City has a very weird schedule. They played Washington on Thursday, had a day off, and now they play Trois Riviere. As that one gets past Beadle, both runners will advance to 2nd and 3rd. Wild pitch by McAvoy. Puts 2 runners in scoring position now, and Vyers with a chance to drive in a run or 2. Dwindle this deficit just a little bit more. Vyers 0 for 2, though. Fly out to center in the 2nd inning, then struck out swinging against McAvoy. Vyers was the first batter that McAvoy faced today. That one misses, and it's 3-1. Walk would load the bases for Forte. Windy City has come back to win it against Trois Riviere. And it's strike 2 on Vyers. So Windy City scores 3 runs in the 9th inning, and they remain undefeated, 2-0. As the Eagles lose their first game of the season. Fouled away. Remains at 3-2. Some sort of bug just flew into the box. I don't really know what it was, but it was quite large, and it kind of scary. Payoff pitch from McAvoy. Outside, and that's ball 4. So 3 straight free passes after the pitching of the Yalls don't allow a single walk nor hit by pitch. McAvoy starts the inning. Walk, strikeout, hit by pitch, and walk, and Toby Hall is quick to bring him out of the game. Well, overall, solid outing from McAvoy. Definitely not as solid as he was in the exhibition game, but still gets the job done here and keeps the Yalls lead. It looks like they won't take him out, though. See if he can try and get out of this jam that he faced. Possibly due to the fact that there's another lefty coming up. If Forte gets on, that's when Hall will most likely make that change. Because then it's Ponder, Jones, Pierce, all of which righties. Jones can switch, and another ball has gotten into left field. What is going on over in Florence's bullpen? They just tossing the ball willy-nilly over there? Well, it would be a big spot for Forte to get his first professional hit. Bases loaded, 1 out. First pitch is right down the middle for strike 1. 2 strikeouts for Forte, 1 off of Westcott and 1 off of McAvoy already. Faces McAvoy here for the second time. 0-1's outside. Mark Black stands on third. TJ Salvaggio stands on second. And Jordan Vyers on first. Forte trying to make things a little closer here in the bottom of the 7th. Take strike 2. John Ponder stands on deck. Otters trying to get to the top of the order here. Swung on and missed. And that is strike 3. So the 4th strikeout for McAvoy, and the 3rd time that Forte has gone down via the strikeout today. And Toby Hall will come out to make the change, putting in the righty Harajli to face off against the righty Ponder at the top of the order. But a big strikeout for out number 2, as Florence is still looking to keep that 6-run lead. We'll be right back here on the Otters Media Network.
Call the bullpen for Florence. 34.
Well, it seemed like almost every game yesterday was close, including the Otters and the Yalls. But now, besides the Windy City game. It looks like there's a lot of blowouts going on right now. But first, let's talk about the new pitcher, Ahmad Harajli, who you see is taking some warm-up pitches. 6'4", 245 out of Dearborn, Michigan. Played for Michigan for 3 seasons and then transferred to Miami of Ohio. Was college teammates with his shortstop, Dylan Baker. First bit of action for Harajli. Pitched very well in the exhibition in Florence. 2 innings, no hits, no earned runs, 2 strikeouts. Looking a little bit around the league yet again. The Wild Things are really pouring it on today. It's 16-4. It was 8-4 at one point, and then the Wild Things scored 4 in the 7th and 4 in the 9th. Gateway trying to avoid losing their second game this season against Mississippi, but they are down 5 in the 9th with 2 outs. Schaumburg's still blowing out Lake Erie 10-1. Just overall, not as many close games as we had it yesterday, but a couple walk-offs for Ottawa and Windy City. So this is the first professional game for Harajli. As mentioned, pitched quite well in the exhibition, but is in a very tight situation here. Inherits 3 runners, all of which the responsibility of Aiden McAvoy, but there are 2 outs, so one swing could definitely get him out of this. Top of the lineup in John Ponder. Hit a double in his last at-bat, but got gunned down trying to go to third for a triple. He will take ball 1. The leadoff man in all 3 games for the Otters. The Edward Jones leadoff man at that. He takes ball 2. Walk would bring in a run and would bring up Amani Jones, who is the only lefty that Harajli will face in this top 3. 2-0 swung on and missed. Harajli and Baker's Miami of Ohio squad finished 35-23. Made it to the regional of the NCAA tournament, but lost to Tennessee and Wake Forest. 1-2 over the leap of the shortstop Baker and into left field. 1 run scores. Salvaggio will come in, throw to third is in time, and that run looks like will still count. We'll see if that run came in before the out at third. 1 run does come in, though, to make it 8-3. The RBI single from Ponder. That one just got over the leap of Baker, and it is only going to be 1 run, so 8-3 as Vyers gets thrown out at third. Andy McCauley having a nice little conversation with the home plate umpire, Mateus Buscalo. Pretty much right in front of where Luke Baker is trying to warm up. McCauley definitely not happy with the decision of that the run did not cross in time before the out at third. But after that chaos, we head to the 8th here on the Otters Media Network.
Savor the flavors of the South at Roberts by the River in Evansville. And don't miss our Friday fish fry featuring all you can eat crispy fish, hush puppies, fries, and coleslaw for just $18. They are located at 6 Walnut Street or online at robertsbytheriver.com.
Top of the 8th here at EVSC's historic Bosse Field in Evansville, Indiana. Here on this May 9th, 2026. The Yalls have an 8-3 lead. The Otters got one back, almost two, but Vyers got thrown out at third before the run in Salvaggio could score. So that run does not count. Just the one run in the bottom of the 7th inning. Top of the lineup for the Yalls to face off against Luke Baker. There was a strike to Bobo. Bobo started the 4-run top of the 7th with a walk, ended up coming around to score the first of those 4 runs. 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, and it's 0-2. Luke Baker struggled in his first outing yesterday. Through only a third of an inning, gave up 2 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. And the lights went out.
Don't worry, we're back. The ghost of Bosse's
What
past
happened?
apologized.
So someone didn't pay the power bill. Interesting. Swung on and missed. Maybe that helped Luke Baker. He strikes out Bobo, and that's out number 1.
Two American pick strikeouts. Center fielder.
So 1 out here in the top of the 8th. That was so weird. That was so weird. The lights literally just went out for like a second and then came back on. I feel as though everybody up here in the press box is probably on edge, though. Going to be on edge for the rest of the game to make sure that that doesn't happen for the rest of the game. It was all a part of the display. Luke Baker does strike out Bobo. First pitch was inside, though, to Shaney Felt, and the second pitch is outside to Shaney Felt. And it's 2-0. Luke Baker was teammates with Zach Westcott, the starter for Florence, last season with the Gastonia Ghost Peppers. That's inside, and it's 3-0. The Ghost Peppers were the Honey Hunters, and then were the baseball club as they tried to find a new team name. Ended up going with the Ghost Peppers in the Atlantic League, which the Atlantic League started a week or so before the Frontier League started this season. Shaney Felt with the 4-pitch walk. And there's a runner on first with 1 out for Hank Zeisler. That's the 5th walk allowed by Otters pitching today. Throw it back to first, and Shaney Felt read that one all the way. Washington comes to town for that next series, and then they head back home to play against Schaumburg and Florence. Runner goes. Throw to second from Mark Black. Is not in time, but it was a very good throw from Mark Black. Shaney Felt just has a lot of speed. Coming off of first. There's a reason why he's the single-season stolen base leader in Florence history. The 1-0 to Zeisler is called a strike on the outside edge. Baker was the pitching coach for Buchholz High School in 2025. Does have a little bit of coaching experience. I feel like a lot of the guys in the league have coaching experience, whether it be for high school or for community college, or if you're Landon Williman, who got the start yesterday, just the assistant coach for your alma mater in Bowling Green State. Two and one now with 1 out in the 8th. Runner in scoring position in Shaney Felt. Could possibly try and steal third. 2-2. It's Zade Richardson on deck. Luke Baker trying to get through all the lefties in the order before the 6 righties at the back end go up against him. It's a ball outside. Count runs full, 3-2. Payoff pitch. Reaches out and grounds one into right field for a base hit. Shaney Felt will get the wave in. And an excuse me single drives in Shaney Felt. The one run that Evansville scored in the bottom of the 7th is returned here in the top of the 8th, and the Yalls are back up 6. It's 9-3.
Zade Richardson.
So Zeisler hit 3 singles yesterday and now has 3 singles today. Three for 4. So it's Captain Hank who's having a great series against the Otters to start off the season. 9-3. Florence, who got no hit in the opener, their offense has now exploded here in the last 2 games. That one gets past Mark Black. No advance at first, though, from Zeisler, and it's 2-0. There's a fly ball into right center field. Ponder Vire is going after it, and Ponder makes the catch at the wall. That's a great catch from Ponder. Really had to go a long way to get to it, and that's out number 2.
That's tonight's Precision Pest and Wildlife Catch of the Game. Team brings precision to the
We're
field.
calling that the
Business,
Precision Pest and Wildlife Catch of the Game. If you need pests caught around your home, contact the pros at Precision. It was a very nice catch. That is for sure. Brett Blomquist with 2 outs, and a runner on first takes strike 1.
now batting. Third baseman 12, Brett Blomquist.
Well, Blomquist 0 for 3. Does have a walk. Reached on a fielder's choice last inning. Scored one of the 4 runs. He's quickly down 0-2. So Baker with a 1 earned run after the RBI single from Zeisler, who takes his lead at first. 0-2 is high, and it's 1-2. Baker from Gainesville, Florida. Played for Ole Miss in 2021. Transferred to Jacksonville, played a season there, and then spent his last 2 years at the University of Dayton, home of the Flyers. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Luke Baker gets Brett Blomquist swinging 2 strikeouts in that inning, but a run does come in for the Yalls as they lead it now, again by 6, 9-3, as we head to the bottom of the 8th on the Otters Media Network.
Otters fans, it's time for the Legend Zip, brought to you by Ace Pizza. Down the right field line, we have Benjamin Fossey, F.J. Wright, and William Henry Harrison. They'll be racing along the warning track on the infield to see who the most legendary legend in Legendom is. Legends, are you ready? Go!
Welcome to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Florence Yalls lead it 9-3. Florence has had a monstrous day offensively. That put up 9 runs after putting up 6 yesterday. Harajli is back out there for another inning of work. Giving up the RBI single, that earned run will go to McAvoy, but Jordan Vyers got thrown out at third, and second run was about to score, doesn't end up counting though. Would have been 8-4, but instead,
Second baseman, number 12.
where we stand now is 9-3, and the Yalls 6 outs away from getting their first win of the season. Monty Jones, Dennis Pierce, Logan Brown, 2, 3, 4 guys in the lineup to lead off the bottom of the 8th. First pitch to Jones. It's the zone for strike 1. Jones is 1 for 3. Grounded out to short, struck out swinging in the 3rd, hit a double in the 6th inning. Lights are out again, and they're back on. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Stuff that you might think would only happen here at EVSC's Bossy Field. Now the good thing is that it hasn't happened during a pitch, because that would be really dangerous. But not sure what's going on with the lights. 2-1 to Amani. Breaking ball misses inside, and it's 3-1. Well, the Yalls had no walks, no free passes at all in the first 6 innings, but then 2 walks and a hit by pitch. In the 7th, had a run come in and a strike call that Amani Jones thought was ball 4. Leads to a full count with nobody out. That one is actually ball 4, as Beadle doesn't know where the ball is, even though it's right under him. Leadoff walk, second straight inning with a leadoff walk for the Otters, as Jones is on first with nobody out for Dennis Pierce. Deerhead Sidewalk Cafe and Bar.
Designated hitter number 10, Dennis Pierce.
Dennis Pierce stepping up for his 4th at-bat. He's 0 for 3 today. Him and Logan Brown, 3-4 guys, have combined to go 0 for 6 today. First pitch misses. Toby Hall going to come out there for a little bit of a mound visit. 5-3, Thunderbolts have the lead over the Rivermen in Game 5 of the SPHL Championship Series. 12-20 away from winning their 2nd straight title. Harajli, 2021, redshirted for Michigan. Played in the Northwoods League with 2 teams, the Michigan Monarchs and the Kalamazoo Growlers. 2022, 11 innings with Michigan, 13.09 ERA, so didn't pitch the best, but his first bit of playing time in college, and you're playing with a Big Ten school, you know, it's bound to happen. Played again with the Michigan Monarchs in the Great Lakes Collegiate League. 3rd season at Michigan, 27 1/3 innings, 11.5 strikeouts per 9. So after the mound visit, a strike thrown to Dennis Pierce. The 1-1. Jones still on first. Decent lead. Swung on and missed, and it's 1-2. '24 with Miami of Ohio only pitched in 2 games. May the 16th against East Tennessee State and May 23rd against Bowling Green. Both of those games through an inning or less. That is crushed. Deep right field, and it is way out of here. Second home run of the season for Dennis Pierce. And that one goes to the opposite field. Makes it 9-5. So the Otters still putting some offense together. Still showing some fight, even down 6. Dennis Pierce, a great swing on that one. Lets it travel, takes it all the way to the opposite field. That might have gone over the billboards. Didn't really see where that landed, but way over the reach of Bobo. And that might be it for Harajli as Toby Hall will come out to the mound. We'll say Dennis Pierce in all-star form. Only been 3 games. I'm well aware it's only been 3 games, but he's looking real nice. You know, you think he's slumping with a 0 for 3 today, and all of a sudden, bang! Hits one over the right field wall. And it takes Harajli out of the game.
We have a hockey score
So we'll have a
change.
pitching change.
10 minutes left to go in that
We'll
game.
be right back on the Otters Media Network.
Peoria 5-3. Florence home open 24. Campbell Spradley. In to pitch. Spradley's on the mound. Field behind the plate is powered by the Answer Auto Repair East. 2319 North Peterborough Road, 812-475-9000. Tell them St. from the Otters and you.
Back at it here in the bottom of the 8th inning after the 2-run homer for Dennis Pierce. The Y'all's lead has dwindled to 4. 9-5 here in the bottom of the 8th. Logan Brown up. New pitcher into the game is Campbell Spradling. Spradling in his professional debut as well. Mentioned we're going to get a lot of debuts. Good play, spinning around over to first, and it's bobbled by Zeisler and dropped. So Logan Brown will reach. Well, Evansville still putting some offense together. They're going to call that a base hit for Brown, so that 0 for 8 slump is in the rearview mirror now. Not a great start for Spradling in his professional debut. Gives up the hit. Pitched in the exhibition on the 2nd against Florence. 2 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 1 strikeout. Brown on first, Black at the dish, and he takes a strike. Thunderbolts getting closer and closer to winning that championship. 9 minutes left. Still keeping an eye on that. Swung on and missed. And it's 0-2 quickly to Mark Black, who's reached in all 3 of his at-bats. 2 for 2, 2 singles, and a walk in the 7th inning. Oh, 2 is low for ball 1. Spradling, 4 seasons at the University of Charleston from Liberty Township, Ohio, just north of Cincinnati. Florence not too far away from where he's from. That's into deep center field. Schoenfeld has a read on it. He makes the catch, and that's out number 1.
The third baseman, number 17, J.J. Cruz.
J.J. Cruz stands in. He hit one of the 2 homers for the Otters, made it 2-1. That was a while ago, and now it's 9-5. You never know what's going to happen. It was 2-1 heading into the 6th, and now we're in the bottom of the 8th, and it's 9-5. How quickly a game can turn around. First pitch low for ball 1. Cruz, besides the home run, has a fly out to third base in foul ground in the 4th inning. Struck out swinging in the 7th. Was the 3rd of 4 McAvoy strikeouts. The 1-0. It's the zone. First strike 1. So Spradling, lefty out of Liberty Township. 6'3", 190 pounds. 3.22 ERA and 44 2/3 with University of Charleston. We're talking about Charleston, West Virginia, by the way. That one misses just outside. It's 2-1. That U of Charleston team finished 26-25. Lost in the MEC tournament to Frostburg State and Fairmount State. Cruz fouls one off, and it's 2-2. So if this score holds, the Otters will be unable to start 3-0 on the year. Last time they started 3-0 was 2008. They actually started 9-0, which that 9-game winning streak is tied for the longest in franchise history, with a couple other times where they won 9 straight. They just can't really get to 10. That season, though, they started 9-0, but they ended up finishing the season at 39-57 and missed the playoffs. That was 2 years after that first championship in 2006. 3-2. That's a grounder into right field for a base hit. Stopping at second is Logan Brown. And a 2-hit day for J.J. Cruz. The guys are still putting together some offense. Threatening still here in the 8th inning is Salvaggio with 1 out and 2 on. Bottom 3 in the order is now combined to go 0 for 7. Salvaggio got hit in what looked like the knee area in his last at-bat, was kind of limping over towards first. Stayed in the game, advanced to third. Didn't end up scoring, though. He was the runner that scored after Jordan Vyers got tagged out at third, and the run didn't count. Now a chance to drive in some runs. 0-1. Hits the zone for strike 2. Well, a great game for both Mark Black and J.J. Cruz. Both of the guys with 2 hits each. Seems as though the offense has been really good when faced with adversity, but TJ strikes out on 3 pitches. First professional strikeout for Campbell Spradling, and that's out number 2 in the bottom of the 8th. And they will throw that ball away. It's a keepsake for Spradling. So congrats to Campbell Spradling, you know. While he's on the other team, always nice to reach a milestone no matter who we're playing. And with the amount of firsts we've seen, the Lights agree. They even decided to put on a little show for Campbell Spradling in honor of his first strikeout. One 0. That is into left field and a base hit. Getting the stop sign is Logan Brown after a great throw from left field from Tucker. And the bases are loaded. The first hit in the bottom 3 of the order goes to Jordan Vyers, and that's the 10th hit of the day for the Otters. The luck of the Lights. We're going to have a pinch hitter for Adonis Forte. Marcos Gonzalez will step up.
We are working to remedy the light situation. We do apologize for the inconvenience. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please.
I don't know if they should try and fix the lights. I think it's kind of cool. Adds a little edge to the game. You never know when they're going to come off. You don't know when they're going to turn off. You don't know when they're going to, well, you do know when they're going to come back on. Every time they've come on after like a second. Adding a little variety to the game, you know? When will the lights turn off? You never know. This is a part of Superhero Night. See, this is a part of Superhero Night. Whoa, what had happened there? It's a balk and a run will score. Spradling tried to throw the pitch and just didn't do it. And that'll make it 9-6. Believe it or not, Marcos Gonzalez is the tying run. Reminder, this game was 9-3. First pitch misses for ball 1. Maybe Batman is in charge of the lights. They're going to intentionally walk Marcos Gonzalez. Top of the lineup, John Ponder.
Intentional Deerhead Sidewalk Cafe and Bar.
An intentional sidewalk.
Edward Jones.
Intentional Deerhead Sidewalk Cafe and Bar.
Leadoff batter. Center fielder number 3, John.
That means everybody should intentionally go to Deerhead Sidewalk Cafe and Bar. John Ponder in a big spot. He represents the go-ahead run. Runner on first and Marcos Gonzalez is the tying run. And the first pitch misses for ball 1. The Never Say Die Otters. The lights go out again. This is wild. That one was close, too. Spradling almost threw that pitch. Home plate umpire Mateus Puscalo got out of the way real fast, and for good reason. Is that another balk? It is. What is going on? What is happening? Toby Hall is trying to blame the lights. You can see him pointing up to the lights. Maybe this is a little bit of a home field advantage. But to be fair, they haven't called a balk when the lights go out. Toby Hall trying to blame the lights for the issues, but I mean, I don't know if there's really anything that we can do about that. And now Ponder will get intentionally walked. So 4 runs in the bottom of the 8th, and now the tying run is in scoring position. What is happening?
The second baseman, number 12, Amani Jones.
Amani Jones trying to tie the game up after what has been an absolutely insane bottom of the 8th inning. Amani Jones led off the inning with a walk right at third. Almost took off the head of Blomquist, but he makes the catch, and that is out number 3. The Otters score 4, though, and they're within reach after an insane 8th inning. Florence still leads at 9-7, heading to the 9th on the Otters Media Network.
Garcia into pitch. Garcia's on the mound. Live behind the plate. It's powered by the answer Auto Repair East. 2319 North River Road. 812-475-9000. Hockey update. 2 minutes are left in Peoria. Evansville leads.
Top of the 9th. Brought to you by McMahon Exterminating. Remember who can help you with all your pest control needs. McMahon can. SPHL update, 6-4. Thunderbolts have the lead, 1 minute 15 left. So they could possibly win that championship in this half inning.
Cruz is now at left field. Marco Gonzalez is at third base for those of you officially.
Defensive changes. J.J. Cruz into left field, Marcos Gonzalez over to third base, and a new pitcher for the Otters, Andrew Garcia.
Leading off, second baseman 99.
Keenan Taylor leads it off. Well, Taylor was off to a rough start in his first 2 at-bats, but a 3-run homer and an RBI single definitely will make him a happy camper here against his former team. Remember when this game was 2-1 in the 6th inning? 'Cause I don't. First pitch way inside, backs him up a little bit, and it's 1-0. Keenan Taylor taking a minute after facing that inside pitch. Otters batted around in the bottom of the 8th. Multiple balks, multiple lighting outages, and 4 runs later, it's a 2-run game. (2-0) to Keenan Taylor. Fouled away. Brown giving it a run. but it will hit the top of the roof, which means it's an overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it.
Choose the best. Never regret it.
It's almost too easy. Ladies and gentlemen, the Thunderbolts have won the SPHL championship for the second straight year. It is officially game over. They have come back from down 2 and beaten the 1-seed Peoria Rivermen to win the SPHL championship. So congrats to the Evansville Thunderbolts for winning a championship. Does good for the city. And it's strike 3 called. German American Bank strikeout for Garcia, his first.
The catcher, 71, Zach Beadle.
We're getting announcements in EVSC's Bossy Field about the Thunderbolts win. Wonder how many people made the trip to Peoria to watch that game. First pitch inside to Beadle, and it's 1-0.
2-0 to win the SPHL championship. Our congrats to them.
And it has been announced. Big congrats to the Thunderbolts. Strike 1. I think now it is the Otters' turn to win a championship. Think about it. Think about it. 2006, 2016. You know what year it is, right? If the pattern follows, if we keep up with history, we're only 3 games in, though. 1-2 to Beadle. Inside, and it's 2-2. Wild Things ended up scoring 16. Hopefully they scored all the runs they needed to score in that series, and they can head to Evansville with lackluster offense. Strike 3, Garcia struck out the first 2 he's seen tonight. And that's the second out in the top of the 9th.
Shortstop, 6, Dylan Baker.
That'll bring up Dylan Baker. Baker 1 for 3. Singled in his last at-bat, has 2 strikeouts and a walk as well. Big whiff and a miss for strike 1. Andrew Garcia pitched yesterday, an inning with 2 hits, no earned, 1 walk and a couple strikeouts. Already has 2 strikeouts here and is now in a good pitcher's count 0-2 against Baker. Looking to strike out the side here in the top of the 9th. Baker takes his timeout. Garcia pitches pretty quick, 93 on the fastball. Got some clapping going on from the Bossy faithful. 0-2. High, and it's 1-2. Garcia was with Yuba Sutter last season. They finished 50-46 on the year. They scored 20 in 3 games out of a 6-game series against Colorado Springs. And that is just low for ball 2. And the Otters fans are letting home plate umpire Mateus Puscalo have it. They look a little low. 2-2. That is ripped down the line foul over to the Y'all's bullpen. There is somebody up in the bullpen. Let's take a look at who that is. That is Chase Hopewell out there. Looks like we will see him for the bottom of the 9th. Try to get the save. Possible closer role for Florence. Swung on and a foul tip into the glove of Mark Black. Andrew Garcia strikes out the side in the top of the 9th. This game was 9-3, now it's 9-7. The Otters need to score 2 to tie, 3 to win here on the Otters Media Network.
Call the bullpen as we head to the bottom of the ninth inning. 7, Chase Hopewell, and to pitch. Hopewell's on the mound, field behind the plate. Inspired by the Answer Auto Repair East, 2319 North River Road. 812-475-9000. Tell them Zane from the Otters sent you.
As we head to the bottom of the ninth inning, let's get a little recap of what we've seen so far. Florence scored in the first. Evansville responded with 2 in the second inning. And then Florence scored 3 in the sixth, 4 in the seventh to take an 8-2 lead. Both teams exchanged a run to make it 9-3. Evansville scored 4 in the bottom of the eighth, and now it is 9-7. The Otters need 2 to tie, 3 to win. In the bottom of the ninth, it's Dennis Pierce, Logan Brown, Mark Black. Dennis Pierce hit a home run in his last at-bat, last inning. Drove in 2 of those 4 runs. Chase Hopewell, just like McAvoy played on Joliet last season, was traded for Armani Smith on January 23rd. Didn't get a save last season with Joliet, but did come out of the bullpen, 4.93 ERA in 38 and a third innings. First pitch misses for ball 1. Pitching the exhibition on the second against Evansville. Threw an inning, gave up a hit, no earned, no walks, no strikeouts. 1-0 pitch. Chopper foul into the big foul ground here at EVSC's historic Bosse Field. Spradling finishes with an inning, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout. 3 of the 4 pitchers for the Yalls have given up 2 earned. McAvoy, the only one that hasn't, has given up 1. Breaking ball misses, and it's 2-1. On the other side, Luke Baker finishes with an inning, a hit, an earned run, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Petschke, Phoebe, and Baker gave up 1 earned. Wilsey and Eckes have given up 3. Garcia struck out the side. Only scoreless outing from a player in the bullpen besides Hopewell, who's pitching right now. The 3-1. Fouls one back to the screen. That one at 95 from Hopewell. And it's 3-2. Here we go again. Lights are gone. It keeps happening when they're not throwing a pitch, which is insane luck considering the amount of pitches that are being thrown. The 3-2 is low for ball 4, and a leadoff walk for Dennis Pierce. I'm sure Toby Hall not too happy about the lights going out again. It's really jarring as to like what even causes that to happen. It feels random, but it also just goes off for a second and comes back on. It's weird. Logan Brown with a runner on first. He represents the tying run. The pickoff bounces off of Pierce. If it didn't bounce off of Pierce, that would have gone into the foul ground near the Otters bullpen and probably would have advanced Pierce to at least second base. Just in case the Otters come back here, they do have a man warming in the bullpen. First pitch to Brown. Swung on and missed at a pitch in the dirt, and it's 0-1. Junior Serta in the bullpen. Looking to be the closer for the Otters this season. 0-1. There's a grounder over to Baker. Baker, long throw to first, and it's off. Infield hit for Logan Brown, and now the tying run is on base.
The catcher, number 29, Mark Black.
The Otters have a chance at it. It was 9-3, and now the tying run is on first. Would definitely be one heck of a way to end a series. Toby Hall might still be talking to the umpires about the lights. He is heading to the mound, though, to have a mound visit with Hopewell. Mark Black in a big spot here. Representing the winning run now here in the bottom of the ninth. Tying run is on first. These 2026 Otts, man, they don't go away. They keep on fighting. After the mound visit, now ready for Mark Black's fifth at-bat of the day. 2 for 3. First pitch from Hopewell. Black already showing the bunt. Drops it down. Hopewell picks it up. Throw it on to first. Is in time, and a successful sac bunt for Mark Black. Puts the tying run in scoring position. J.J. Cruz already has a 2-run homer, a chance to tie the game, maybe even end it here in the 9th inning. Does already have a homer. Homer would win it here for the Otters. Hopewell in a dangerous spot right now. Possibility of a blown save. First pitch inside. Now, I'm sure it would be absolute chaos if the lights went out again, especially in this situation. 1-0. Grounder off the glove of Zeisler, and he can't recover. It's 9-8. Calling that a single for Cruz, an RBI single at that as Pierce crosses home, and it's 9-8. Salvaggio. Tying run, 90 feet away. Anything to the outfield will tie things up at 9 apiece. And J.J. Cruz lingers at first as the go-ahead. Lights go out again. Again, it happens in between pitches, though. First pitch from Hopewell is high for ball one. Looking to start 3-0. Outside 2-0. Otters have won their first 2 games for the first time since 2019. Already have won the series against Florence. Now want the sweep. 2-0. Check swing, and he did go around. It's 2-1. Hopewell played in 3 games against Evansville last season. 1 in June, 2 in August. Coming out of the bullpen for Joliet. It's in the Phillies organization. The 2-1. There's a fly ball into right field. Going back at the wall. And no one can get it. 1 run comes in. Cruz will get the stop sign at third, but we're tied at 9. The Never Say Die Otters tie things up after being down 6. You can't write things like this. You can't. You can't do it.
The right fielder, number 11,
Jordan Vyers now with the winning run on third and 1 out. A chance to win it here and sweep the Yalls out of Evansville. These guys do not quit. They don't quit. Vyers will get the intentional walk. And now it's Marcos Gonzalez trying to be the hero.
That's an intentional tier.
If the Otters win this, this will definitely go up there as one of the best series in Otters history. A no-hitter in game 1, a walk-off yesterday, and now a chance to end things here. It was 9-3 2 innings ago. Gonzalez, infield in, Hopewell, the pitch. Grounder into left field, a base hit! The Otters, the Never Say Die Otters, sweep the Yalls, and they start 3-0 for the first time since 2008. Storybook stuff in series number 1. What a series. What a start to the season. What is happening? Can you believe this? This is incredible. Take it all in. The Otters are 3-0 for the first time in 18 years. These dudes don't quit. And guess what? It appears the odds are hot. It appears the odds are hot. These guys, man, they are putting on a show to start off the season. The no-hitter in game 1, the walk-off in 10 in game 2. They retire Dakota Phillips' number. They come back from down 6 in the 8th, and they advance to 3-0 on the season. Absolutely incredible stuff in Evansville. This is just storybook stuff. The Alls finished with 9 runs on 14 hits, no errors. Evansville 10 runs, 14 hits with 1 error. It's hard to fathom, but the Otters are 3-0. They've come back from down 6 in the 8th inning. And they win. They start 3-0. 2 off days to bask in the glory of being undefeated to start off the season before we're back at it on Tuesday at 6:35 against Washington. Everybody here at EVSC's historic Bosse Field heading home happy. For everybody here, I'm Evan Patoka. This first series might only be the start of something special here for the Otters in 2026. We'll see you on Tuesday.